Chapter 268. Xing Minglan looked deeply into Xing Zhao's eyes, and then at her brother. In the end, she simply said, "No. How could you not?" Xing Zhao said meaningfully. Then, he patted the seat beside him. "How can we talk if you don't sit down?" Xing Zhao, now is not the time for jokes. You just have to agree to Grandpa Xing's engagement. Xing Zhao told her directly. You want me to agree? When he relaxes, what you need to do is to bring your company to the table. I know you've been preparing for it. When it's time for the engagement ceremony, you can break the engagement on the spot. Then, you can negotiate with Elder Xing and tell him that he won't interfere with your development for the next 3 years. Otherwise, we'll all see the consequences. You can be so shameless, why can't you? Xing Zhao asked in return. Fourth sister, you are a bold person. And the only person who can fight for your freedom is you. Just tell me if you need anything else. As your brother, how can I not help you? Xing Minglan took a deep breath and said nothing. Since you are going to resist, why don't you make a big fuss? The gentle fourth sister suddenly made such a big fuss. Do you think that Grandpa Xing, a calculative person, would not know the consequences of forcing you? Moreover, you are determined to be a strong woman. This is to ease the impact of breaking the engagement on Grandpa Xing. Xing Minglan clenched her fists. Then, she loosened them. You said that you will cooperate with me. Of course I said that. Even if it is for my Jingyun, I will help you to the best of my ability. In that instant, Xing Minglan was confused. What does this have to do with Jingyun? Nothing. Because you are the one who brought him here. Xing Minglan glared at him. But she still believed Xing Zhao. Not only because she wanted to take the gamble, but because she knew very well what Xing Zhao was capable of. Then we have a deal on this matter. Go and take care of Muchichi. I will go back first. Xing Minglan nodded slightly. Jingyun, send Miss Minglan off. Xing Zhao shouted. Understood. Jingyun nodded calmly. He had heard the conversation between the siblings just now, and he had mixed feelings about it. It turned out that Xing Minglan had no one she liked. This answer was both comforting and cruel to him. Xing Zhao smiled as he watched Xing Minglan leave. Challenging the old man's authority was his favorite thing to do. The old man was getting on in years and should have stepped down from his position of power a long time ago. Since he chose to torment his children and grandchildren, then he couldn't blame his children and grandchildren for giving him a taste of his own medicine. Suddenly, she was looking forward to seeing fourth sister standing on the stage and breaking off the engagement. A woman with courage should be the prettiest. He just didn't know if Jingyun would fall head over heels for his fourth sister. When he returned to the room, he saw the little one sleeping soundly. He carried her into his arms. It was only a matter of time before he left the Xing family. Not only his fourth sister, but sooner or later, he would also have to walk this path. Jingyun was driving back to Xing Mansion. Xing Minglan looked out of the window and suddenly asked him, "Am I being unfilial?" Miss Minglan, I think there are many kinds of filial piety. If you keep accepting your elders' arrangements and don't think for yourself, then you are just an accessory to your elders. You are not an independent and complete person. Jingyun answered her, to put it bluntly, the old chairman only treats his children and grandchildren as chess pieces on the chessboard. He might be sincere, because people who play chess will put their energy into it. But do you think he has any feelings? Xing Minglan fell into deep thought after hearing that. Moreover, if there is anything you need me to do, Miss Minglan, just let me know. Jingyun had been by Xing Zhao's side for many years. It was not an exaggeration to say that Jingyun could be a person who could handle everything on his own even if he was alone. Are you doing this to repay a debt of gratitude? Actually, you don't have to. No. Jingyun answered Xing Minglan. I want to be like young master. I want to protect the people I think are important to me. Xing Minglan was stunned. Of course, she was touched. She felt that out of all the siblings in the Xing family, only when she was with Xing Xiao could she feel the vitality of life. And Jing Yun was quite influenced by Xing Xiao. Soon, the two returned to the Xing family's residence. But it was already dawn. Xing Minghui might have heard the noise. She went out in her pajamas. When she saw Xing Minglan coming back with the smell of alcohol, she could not help but smile. Did you go out to get drunk? It has nothing to do with you. Xing Minglan pushed her away. Move away. Fourth sister, Grandpa has ordered me to find a way to separate Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi. Do you think I will succeed? Hearing that, Xing Minglan pinned her against the wall. Does hurting your own brother make you happy? Xing Xiao has never treated me as his sister. Xing Minglan said excitedly. Do you know how excited I was when Grandpa told me? I couldn't even sleep well last night. You will not succeed. Xing Minglan said seriously. Not only that, you will kneel in front of Xing Xiao and beg him to let you go. Fourth sister, you'd better take care of yourself. Aren't you also like a clay bodhisattva crossing the river? Xing Minglan let go of Xing Minglan and returned to her room. Because she was angry. Grandpa Xing had agreed to Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi's engagement. But behind his back, he asked someone to separate them. Was this not despicable? Of course, she should have gotten used to it. But she still had a glimmer of hope for Grandpa Xing after all these years. But now, she could not hold it in anymore. Since eighth brother had already thought it through, then let's do it. I can't let her suffer here alone. If she was suffering, everyone would suffer together. On the other hand, Mu Qiqi woke up early. Seeing that Xing Xiao had not left, she quickly sat beside him. Xing Xiao took the bowl of soup from fifth aunt and put it in front of Mu Qiqi. Drink it. Mu Qiqi was very obedient. She drank the soup in one gulp. How is fourth sister's matter? Fourth sister has her own way. But little one, it's your 19th birthday soon. How do you want to spend it this year? Xing Xiao changed the topic. Last year, she made a scene at Mu Qiqi's house. But in just a year, she had become the bride of the Xing family. I just want to spend the whole day with you. Chapter 269. Okay. Mu Qiqi nodded. She was very satisfied with the result. Then, she packed her things and went to school. But when she arrived, she saw a huge banner hanging at the school gate. There was only one sentence written on it. Mu Qiqi, I want to woo you. Mu Qiqi glanced at him and quickly went to the classroom. Because she remembered what Xiao Xiao said on the way back from Xing Mansion that night. Old Xing could not wait to shove men and women around her and Xiao Xiao. It was not easy to do things around Xiao Xiao, but she could be manipulated by anyone. Especially in a place like school. Mu Qiqi did not know who put up the banner. She just kept to herself. But when she entered the classroom, she found a sumptuous breakfast and exquisite gifts on her table. Meanwhile, the crowd began to talk among themselves. Isn't Mu Qiqi engaged to the crown prince? How could she go around fooling around? She is really bold. Isn't she afraid that the crown prince would find out? Mu Qiqi threw everything into the trash can and continued her lessons calmly. How could she let old Xing's plan succeed? There would be fruit juice on the table after class. Lunch would be prepared beforehand. Then, the banner would be hung on the tree again after school. What kind of place was a school? Soon, rumors would spread. However, Mu Qiqi did not respond. When school was over, Xing Xiao was still the one who arrived at school. He smiled when he saw the banner in the school. Mu Qiqi walked out of the classroom. Xing Xiao took her bag naturally. They got into the car and left together. The Crown Prince must have seen the banner at the school gate, right? He doesn't care. In my opinion, this is all Crown Prince's doing. Their fiancé's relationship is so good, why should he worry so much about others? I've asked Jing Yun to contact the school and get the surveillance footage. We will know who it is soon. Xing Xiao told Mu Qiqi on the way home. Okay. Let me handle it when we find him. Mu Qiqi replied. Is it okay? Of course. How else would I be your little one? Mu Qiqi smiled confidently. I want to go back and see my aunt tonight. I wonder how she and the child are doing. If you want to see her, you can bring her to Jingting to stay for a few days. Fifth aunt is also good at preventing miscarriage. She can help her recuperate. I'll ask my uncle for his opinion. This was the first time they had returned to the small villa after their engagement. Because of her advanced age, Su Zipei could only rest in bed. She didn't have a good appetite, so she was in low spirits. But when she saw Mu Qiqi and Xing Xiao, her eyes brightened. Qiqi, aunt, it's all my fault. It's been so many days and I haven't come to see you. Aren't you here now? Su Zipei grabbed her hand and looked at her carefully. You are engaged now. You must love young Master Xing from now on. I know, what about the Xing family? Is he easy to get along with? Everything's fine. Mu Qiqi replied. She didn't want to tell Su Zipei that she was in trouble now because it would make Su Zipei worry. You have to remember, don't belittle yourself. You are also a dignified young lady, not from a small family. Now you have the Shin family and uncle. We are all your reliable arms. Don't be bullied casually. Don't be silent. With Xiao Xiao around, the Xing family can only stare at you. Mu Qiqi looked at Xing Xiao. She trusted him. Of course, I'm more assured with young Master Xing around. You must hold each other's hands tightly. Don't let go. Don't be like your mother and father who regret for the rest of their lives. Your main task now is to take care of yourself and the baby. As for me, I'm going to be 19 soon. And, I can carry a lot of things. Now, Mu Qiqi was no longer afraid of him. The family had dinner happily. Lu Wenhua sent them to the door. Qiqi, I've just been promoted to the principal of Eton. So, I'm planning to reveal your identity and your aunt's identity. This way, you will have a political and business background. No one will dare to touch you easily. Uncle, you fought for it. How can I just sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor? Moreover, I'm Xiao Xiao's fiancé now. If there comes a day when I have to rely on my identity to win, I'll come and beg you again. Principal Lu, you don't have to worry about Xing Xiao knew that the elder meant well. But, he could protect his woman. Even if the Xing family was a dangerous place, he could still let Qi do whatever she wanted. I don't ask for much. I just hope that Xiao Qi can live with dignity in the Xing family. I do. Mu Qiqi told Lu Wenhua firmly. Xiao Xiao gave it to me. That's good. It was already 10 o'clock when the couple returned to Jingting after visiting Su Zipei. But Jing Yun still sent the surveillance footage. Xing Xiao gave it to Mu Qiqi. You said it. You can deal with it. You won't even look at it. Xing Xiao was very confident about that. Let's not talk about whether you have the guts to do it. Who dares to go against me in terms of looks, means, wealth and fitness? Narcissist. Mu Qiqi couldn't help but roll her eyes. But, you don't have to compare yourself with them. These people are just small fries in my heart. Xing Xiao hugged Mu Chichi by her waist. After dinner, it's a good time to warm up. Aren't you afraid that you'll get *X when you're so diligent? Are you afraid that you won't have sex for the rest of your life? Now that they were officially engaged, he could have as much sex as he wanted. But, Mu Chichi's body would suffer. After Mu Chichi fell asleep, Xing Xiao still called Jing Yun. Have you found out who's behind those despicable things in the school? They have something to do with Miss Qi. Jing Yun answered. It was already midnight. She was still sitting in front of the computer. That was the fate of a single dog. After hearing her answer, Xing Xiao hugged Xiao Qi and laughed. It seems that Miss Qi can't wait to have a taste of the African people. Young master, do you really want to? When have I ever gone back on my words? Since she wants to provoke us, then let's do as she wishes. Help me prepare for the African people. If she does anything, I'll give her a big gift. Anyway, it's just mutual disgust. I understand. Jing Yun nodded. Chapter 270. After making the last call, Jing Yun was about to go to bed when he heard someone knocking on the door. Jing Yun got up and opened the door. He was stunned when he saw Xing Minglan. Miss Minglan, why are you still awake? I'm preparing for the company. I saw that your room is still lit, so I came to ask you. Is it not convenient for me to come in? No. Jing Yun shook his head. I'm just worried that Miss Minglan might see you and make a fuss about it. You have been in the Xing family for so many years. Everyone knows what kind of person you are. Don't be afraid. Xing Minglan entered Jing Yun's room and saw the various gifts he had given her on his desk. They were all from abroad. Are they all here? Other than Miss Minglan, no one else gave me gifts. So, they are all here. Jing Yun replied. If you mind, these are your things. Why should I mind? Xing Minglan smiled and sat down in Jing Yun's room. You must have a lot of experience in doing business with Xing Xiao. Come quickly, I have a few questions and I want your advice. Being alone with Xing Minglan in the same space, there was nothing else he could do except for the night in Jingting. Jing Yun was very nervous because he was really afraid that Miss Minglan would be gossiped about. Then, can you finish your questions quickly? Can you go back and rest early? Xing Minglan could not help but smile when she heard Jing Yun's question. Why do you care about my reputation more than me? Come quickly. Jing Yun walked to Xing Minglan's side. Although he was very nervous, he still took the documents from Xing Minglan. And when it came to professional issues, Jing Yun was a completely different person. Because he could only be confident when it came to the business world. And when it came to management, funds, and systems, he was radiant and looked very heroic. Xing Xiao was a natural manipulator. He liked to take risks and gamble. He was also good at devising strategies. And Jing Yun was the meticulous and precise like an electronic instrument. Xing Minglan felt something deep in her heart after she heard that. Although women could hold up half the sky now, they were still lacking when it came to intelligence. Because Jing Yun could think and consider all aspects. Rationality was the key to a man's success in his career. When they were done, Xing Minglan couldn't help smiling. You're no longer the little boy in rags on a snowy night. Miss 4, the questions have been answered. You should return to your room and rest. Xing Minglan nodded when she saw how serious he was. You should rest early too. As if relieved of a heavy burden, Jing Yun took a deep breath. Still, before Xing Minglan left his room, she turned to him and asked, with your ability, you could have gone out and made a name for yourself a long time ago. Why would you stay as Xing Zhao's assistant? If young master needs me, I will follow him for a lifetime. This way, I can protect you forever. Of course, Xing Minglan didn't know what Jing Yun was thinking. She took the documents and went back to her room. But when she closed the door, her heart suddenly raced. In fact, she had already discussed these issues with the company's risk appraiser. She did not know why, but she could only go to Jing Yun's place in the Big Xing family so that she would not feel nervous. But Jing Yun was a shy child, so she had to be careful. Grandpa Xing told her to get in touch with the Englishman, and she did it. If there were no mistakes, it would not be long before the announcement of the engagement was made. Since Grandpa Xing was pressuring her, she couldn't be blamed for making a bigger fuss than Xing Xiao. And in Jing Yun's heart, he only hoped that Miss Minglan's dream would come true. The next morning, Mu Chi-Chi arrived at school as usual. She smiled when she saw the banner hanging in the school. This ice beauty was famous in school. Because for Xing Xiao, she didn't need any friends. She only needed Qian Qian. If she made friends, she would have a new social life. So, she couldn't go home on time. She felt that it was a burden. Soon, she entered the classroom and threw the breakfast on her table into the dustbin again. Yesterday, she didn't know who the person was. But today, it was different. The person was a second-year student in the finance faculty. His name was Xiao Chenhao. He was a rich playboy. His character seemed to be imitating Xing Xiao. If it wasn't because of that, Xing Minghui might not be interested in this chess piece. In other words, it was a kind of admiration for Xing Xiao. Mu Chi-Chi asked a senior from the finance department about Xiao Chenhao's class today, so she went to the lecture hall early to get a seat. Soon, she saw Xiao Chenhao entering the classroom. He was wearing a sporty outfit and headphones, thinking that he was very cool. Then, the teacher came to the class. But before the class started, Mu Chi-Chi walked to the front and said to the finance teacher, "Can I have a few minutes of your time? I want to say something." The audience cheered. Because everyone knew that it was Mu Chi-Chi, a first-year student in the forensic science faculty. Although the teacher was a little confused, he still gave up his seat to Mu Chi-Chi. He wanted to know what Mu Chi-Chi wanted to do. Then, Mu Chi-Chi walked to the podium. She glanced at all the seniors, especially at Xiao Chenhao's seat. "Seniors, I'm sorry. I have to take up a few minutes of your time. Because I have a private matter that I want to solve. Go ahead." The audience wanted to watch a good show. But this time, Mu Chi-Chi only called out one name. Senior Xiao Chenhao. As Mu Chi-Chi called out, everyone's eyes were focused on him, including Mu Chi-Chi herself. "Your behavior has seriously disturbed my normal life. Your banners are everywhere and it's not environmentally friendly. Also, the breakfast you bought is not nutritious at all. Please don't put it on my table in the future. Otherwise, I'll have to waste time cleaning it up." After hearing Mu Chi-Chi's words, the whole class cheered. "Wow, I have a family. I don't want to play such ambiguous games with you. Please control yourself and don't cause me trouble. And I have to say, you should know who my man is, right? How could you do such a stupid thing under such circumstances? What are you thinking? It's fine if you have a problem with your thinking. But don't treat others like idiots. As long as they are not blind, they will know what to do. Don't try to ruin my relationship. I will fight you to the death. That's all I want to say. Please continue." "Teacher, I'm sorry." Then, Mu Chi-Chi bowed deeply to the teacher. Her movement was fast and handsome. Before anyone could react, she had already disappeared at the door of the classroom. "Damn, that's so cool, Xiao Chenhao. I didn't expect you to be the one who caused such a commotion in the past 2 days. What are you thinking? Why did you compete with the Crown Prince?" Chapter 271. Mu Chichi was full of thorns. To her, she was not interested in anything other than studying and Xingxiao. Such a girl, to others, is cold and cool, but many girls like her, because very few girls can be as cool and unrestrained as her. Before meeting Xingxiao, Mu Chichi was weak and easily bullied. But after being with Xingxiao, Mu Chichi's personality became more and more obvious. Xiao Qinhao did not expect Mu Chichi to counterattack so quickly. He had prepared a lot of good scenes but did not get to perform in time. But it did not matter. He liked the exciting Mu Chichi. Soon, the news that Mu Chichi went to the finance department to warn Xiao Qinhao spread all over the campus. The girls were talking about it. Mu Chichi was just a freshman. How could she be so cool? It was totally against the rules. I'm used to seeing those naive girls flirting with different people in the name of not wanting to hurt others. But now, I'm shocked to see Mu Chichi so determined to defend her feelings. She is not stupid. She already has a crown prince. Who would want a weak girl in school? I quite like Mu Chichi's character. I was shocked when she chose to study forensic medicine. According to her grades, she is more than qualified to study in the best department in Xingting. Isn't that right? How many people can be like her? She is so clear about what she likes and hates. Because of this incident, the school's impression of Mu Chichi changed. Moreover, she chose an unpopular major with high grades. Mu Chichi's cold image was deeply rooted in everyone's heart. She was just a little girl. She came home in a hurry every day. But when they saw her grades were all A+, how could they not admire her? Moreover, she was good at science, which girls hated. I think it's time to change the ranking of the campus bells in Xingting. Please replace those vases. It's not like we don't have beautiful and smart students. Of course, Mu Chichi could not hear the discussions behind her back. Even if she did, she would not care. In Huangyao, Xingxiao watched the video that the finance students had recorded and uploaded to the internet. The smile on his lips widened infinitely. Sure enough, he did not dote on the little one for nothing. Her posture was just like a president taking an oath. He could feel that the little one was very afraid of the outside world destroying their relationship. So, he was not worried about any third party at all. Because the little one's heart was filled with him. Seeing that he was in a good mood, Jing Yun took the documents and told him, "The people you want have been arranged. They can be sent to the Xing family anytime. Then what are we waiting for? Such a good gift, of course I have to send it to seventh sister as soon as possible. I'm afraid it won't be easy to explain to the old chairman. I'll say it first. The one who provoked me first is AB*TCH. If the old man wants to cause trouble for me, then I know to continue to cause trouble for seventh brother." Xingxiao said coldly. "I won't let anyone who makes Qi unhappy have it easy. Because no one has thought of giving in to me. If Xing Minghui isn't afraid of trouble, why should I be?" I understand now. Although Xing Minghui knew that Xingxiao was a lawless person, he would not dare to do anything to her under Grandpa Xing's watch. But, with Xing Zhao's character of doing what he said, she was too confident in her own judgment. That night, Xing Minghui returned to her room after dinner with her family. She took off her clothes and was about to take a shower when she found a dark-skinned man lying in her bathroom. She was startled and screamed. Then, she quickly put on her pajamas and went to Grandpa Xing's study, crying. When Grandpa Xing knew about it, his face changed. He was very angry. Papa Xing dialed Xing Zhao's cell phone right away. "What the hell did you do? Come home now." Xing Zhao had been waiting for the call. He smiled. "I'm on my way." Xing Minghui burst into tears. She was a girl after all. How could she not cry when she encountered such a thing? That was also why old Master Xing was so angry. On the other hand, Mama Xing and Xing Minglan stood at a corner and looked at each other. Xing Xiao would not do anything if Xing Minghui did not cross the line. He did not have the time. But since he did, it meant that Xing Minghui had done something even worse. Why are you in such a hurry to go back to the Xing family? Mu Qiqi asked, puzzled. Of course I'm going back to watch the show. Xing Xiao said and quickened his pace. Soon, they reached the main gate of Xing Mansion. The Xings were sitting in the living room. Xing Xiao led Mu Qiqi into the living room. Xing Minghui cried even louder when she saw them. Grandpa, you have to stand up for me. Grandpa Xing stomped his walking stick and pointed at Xing Xiao. You are too much. Your seventh sister is a girl. How could you let a black man bully her? You are a bastard. At that, Xing Xiao pushed Mu Qiqi to sit beside Mama Xing. Then, he looked at Xing Minghui and said, I've told you before. If seventh sister had behaved herself, this wouldn't have happened. You are so unfilial. She is your sister. How could she get married in the future? Grandpa, Xing Minghui cried even harder. I never thought that you would do such a thing to your own sister. You are worse than an animal. I admit that I am not human, Xing Xiao answered. Xing Xiao answered Grandpa Xing. At the same time, he took out his phone from his pocket and threw it in front of Grandpa Xing. Then I'll ask seventh sister today. What are you trying to do by bribing the students and ruining Qiqi's reputation? Are you trying to make everyone think that she is fooling around and shaming the Xing family? Are you trying to kick her out of the family? Well, Grandpa, can you tell me what you are trying to do? I admit that I have gone overboard by giving gifts to seventh sister. But what about her? Is it what a sister should do to do such dirty things behind my back? Grandpa Xing, you are not such a double-standard person, are you? Grandpa Xing's face flushed when he saw that. Even so, it is your sister's fault. You should just talk to her nicely. Why did you do that? Did she discuss it with me when she hurt her and me? Moreover, I have told you before. Is there anyone in the Xing family who doesn't know that I, Xing Xiao, am a man of my words? I was just scaring you today. If there is a next time, it won't be as easy as tonight, seventh sister. Xing Xiao warned her coldly. As a member of the Xing family, you should have the self-awareness of a Xing. You still want to talk to Grandpa Xing. Chapter 272. Xing Minghui certainly couldn't defend herself now that she was caught in the act. Moreover, Xing Xiao had promised her that he was just fulfilling his promise. So, even if Xing Minghui cried and screamed, no one would sympathize with her. In fact, she had angered Mama Xing. Xing Minghui, I've always treated you well. But why do you have to go against Mu Qiqi and Xing Xiao again and again? I really didn't expect you to be so vicious that you would let someone ruin Mu Qiqi's reputation in school. What good would that do to you? At first, I wanted to apologize to you for what my son did. But now that the truth is out, I really can't help but say that you deserve it. Father, don't blame me for being vicious. As an elder, I've always taken good care of Xing Minghui. But I didn't expect that she would do this to my son and daughter-in-law. Even if your father was here today, you wouldn't be able to reason with him. Alright, aren't the two of them about the same thing? Turning the Xing family upside down over such a small matter. In fact, what Grandpa Xing wanted to say was that the whole family had turned into such a mess because of an outsider like Mu Qiqi. But he wasn't in the position to speak up for either Xing Xiao or Xing Minghui. In the end, he flung his sleeves and simply ignored it. Don't come to me with such things in the future. Just let it go. Xing Xiao looked at Xing Minghui fearlessly. If Xing Minghui wanted to keep fighting, he would fight her to the end. You'll regret it one day when you treat your siblings like this because of an outsider. Helpless, Xing Minghui could only return to her room angrily, while Xing Xiao had to accept the rest of the Xing family's nagging. Bastard! She's still my sister. How could she ruin someone's reputation like this? Papa Xing cursed. In fact, everyone knew that if Xing Xiao really wanted to ruin Xing Minghui's reputation, he wouldn't have brought her to the Xing family or let her lie in her bathtub. It was just to intimidate her and remind her to be self-conscious. Everyone knew that Xing Minghui wouldn't be harmed in the Xing family's territory. It's fine, Xing Xiao. You didn't do anything wrong. Mama Xing and her husband were opposing each other. He waved at Mu Chi-Chi. Let's go home, Chi-er. Moreover, before he left, he winked at Xing Minglan, reminding her that she had to prepare what she needed in advance. Although they had a big fight with Xing Minghui tonight, everyone knew that the one who really wanted to deal with Mu Chi-Chi was Grandpa Xing. On the way home, Mu Chi-Chi stared at Xing Xiao and said nothing for a long time, which forced Xing Xiao to ask, "You've been peeking for so long. What do you want to say? We've only been engaged for a few days, and you're already fighting with the Xing family. You're in charge of the school's affairs, and I'm in charge of the Xing family's affairs. No matter how many times you cause trouble, someone has to restrain himself. Someone might be afraid, but I'm not afraid of trouble. But the Xing family would lose even the slightest bit of kinship from me." Xing Xiao snorted and parked the car in his garage. "Do you think the Xing family had that before you showed up? Xiao Xiao, it's getting late. Let's go home and sleep." Xing Xiao got out of the car and entered Jingting. Mu Chi-Chi followed behind him. Suddenly, she stepped forward and hugged him tightly. "Don't be angry. It's good that you know I'm angry." Xing Xiao smiled slowly. You have to understand that if words work in the Xing family, I won't target my own family. I won't give in to the people who hurt you. So, when it's time to fight, I'll protect you as long as I live." "I know." Mu Chi-Chi answered obediently. Only Xing Xiao could make her submit to him willingly. Because this man did it for her, and she had no right to question him. Even though she was afraid that Xing Xiao would lose his family because of her. Hearing Mu Chi-Chi's answer, Xing Xiao turned around and hooked his arm around Mu Chi-Chi's head. Then, he lowered his head and kissed her. "You heartless little thing. How am I heartless?" Mu Chi-Chi reached out her hand and aroused the man's lust. Then, it got out of hand. Xing Xiao pressed her against the door and kissed her from the door to the living room. They fell on the sofa. Then, Mu Chi-Chi turned around and said seductively, "Don't move." Xing Xiao did not move. He just looked at Mu Chi-Chi. Mu Chi-Chi found the man's sensitive spot and kissed him. Xing Xiao's eyes changed color immediately. "Little thing, you're asking for death, sure." Mu Chi-Chi stopped him and smiled at him. "Tonight. I want to be the one on top. You." Xing Xiao was disdainful. This little one was used to being served by him. Now, she wanted to be the one taking the initiative. "Let's go back to our room." On the other hand, Xing Minghui was shivering in her room. She was afraid that another black man would appear in the room at any time. If that happened, her reputation would be ruined. She really did not expect Xing Xiao to be so decisive. He would treat his sister like that just for Mu Chi-Chi. He was crazy. He was really crazy. Xing Minghui was very unwilling. But what could she do when even Grandpa could not do anything to Xing Xiao? Thinking of this, Xing Minghui turned on all the lights in the room and locked the door. Xing Xiao, she would never forget this grudge. Just like that, Xing Minghui could not sleep for the whole night. She felt so wronged. She went to Grandpa Xing early in the morning to make a scene. "Grandpa, if you don't control him, just wait and see. Xing Xiao will become more and more arrogant to his family because of Mu Qiqi. Isn't he just relying on the fact that he is the crown prince and you dote on him? As long as Grandpa gives him a lesson, I don't believe he will still be so arrogant." Of course, Grandpa Xing wanted to teach his grandson a lesson so that he would be more obedient. But Xing Minghui's words were too kind. "That's because you don't know how much business eighth brother can get for Huang Yao in a day. No matter how difficult the contract is, as long as eighth brother is involved, there's nothing he can't do." In this matter, Grandpa Xing still protected his grandson. After all, as the young lady of the Xing family, Xing Minghui had never made any contribution. "Grandpa, I really can't take this lying down." Chapter 273. There was nothing Xing Minghui could do no matter how angry she was. Who asked her to be a girl? It was an indisputable fact that Grandpa Xing favored Xing Xiao more. And since Grandpa Xing told her to wait for a chance, she would wait. "Your fourth sister is going to get engaged soon. You should calm down." "Does that mean that fourth sister is with that Englishman?" Xing Minghui's attention was indeed diverted. "Your fourth sister has agreed." "Why? Are you still not satisfied?" Grandpa Xing asked dangerously. Xing Minghui quickly waved him off. "Grandpa, you're wrong about that. Of course I wish fourth sister the best she can find her own happiness." She was not wishing Xing Minghui well. She was clearly just watching the drama unfold. As a woman herself, how could she not know how upset Xing Minglan was? Who would want to be a pawn and marry off to the head of some conglomerate? That better be the case. Grandpa Xing snorted coldly. He had a detailed discussion with Xing Minglan in the morning. Since Xing Minglan had always been obedient and had never rejected him, Xing Minglan decided to let him make the decision for this engagement. "Minglan, Grandpa wants to see you happy the most. The world out there is too messed up. Look at who Xing Xiao is messing with." Xing Minglan did not react, but she was sneering inwardly. A marriage alliance is a marriage alliance. Why bother with such pompous words to disgust people? "I'll let you decide, Grandpa. Minglan, you're the one who gives me peace of mind." Unknowingly, she had started to feign civility with Grandpa Xing. She clearly remembered that Grandpa Xing doted on them when they were young, but everything changed after she became an adult. Grandpa Xing was no longer the loving grandfather she used to be, and she was no longer naive and innocent. Xing Minglan did not refuse anything. She did not even show any displeasure. Grandpa Xing thought that she had accepted her fate. But only Xing Minglan and Xing Xiao knew what kind of show was waiting for him next. More importantly, Jing Yun was investigating the Englishman's background. He found out that he already had a daughter and was divorced once. Jing Yun showed the document to Xing Minglan. Xing Minglan had nothing to say but feel even more disgusted. "Do you think Grandpa doesn't know about this?" "He knows. Miss Minglan, I'm fine." Xing Minglan took a deep breath and looked out the window. "How much hope do you think I have for Grandpa? You still have young master to help you. This winter is really cold." Xing Minglan got up and walked to the French window. She looked at the withered leaves outside and felt sad. "Jing Yun, you should go back." "I know what I should do. I won't be soft-hearted." Jing Yun nodded and returned to his room. Although he was indebted to the Xing family, he hated Grandpa Xing's way of doing things. He just didn't have the right to be calculative. Now that Xing Minglan was in such a predicament, he would certainly do his best. If that Englishman had not been married twice, he might not have been so determined to use all his savings to help Xing Minglan. What kind of grandfather would sell out his granddaughter like that? The next day, Xing Xiao got the news from Jing Yun. After reading the information, he snorted. That's more like the old man. Young master, will fourth Mrs. Plan be foolproof? No plan is foolproof. But we will try our best to minimize the risk. Jing Yun nodded. He took out a gold card from his pocket and put it in front of Xing Xiao. I don't know how to help Miss Minglan. This is all the savings I have in the Xing family over the years. I hope it can help Miss Minglan. But if I give it to her, she will definitely not accept it. So, Xing Xiao looked at the gold card on the table with interest. You want me to help you? Young master, I didn't ask you for anything. I just hope that Miss Minglan will not marry that man who has been married twice. Otherwise, everything will be meaningless. Xing Xiao crossed his legs and clasped his hands together. He looked at Jing Yun with interest. It's not difficult for me to help you. Just tell me if you like fourth sister. I will help you without hesitation. Young master, why do you have to force me? Then give it to me yourself, yes. Jing Yun answered simply. I've liked Miss Minglan since a long time ago. But I know it's just wishful thinking. You're still not being honest in front of me. Xing Xiao put away the gold card and looked at Jing Yun. I will do it for you. Thank you, young master. But you have already taken out all your savings. Do you have any plans for the future? I can still earn more. Xing Xiao looked at the gold card in his hand. He knew that there was a lot of money in it. Because Jing Yun had been working for him all these years, his salary was already very good. Moreover, with Jing Yun's own investment, the money in the card could be 8 or 9 figures. If he did such a thing without letting fourth sister know, would someone as foolish as Jing Yun still have to smile and marry someone else in the future? But Xing Xiao knew very well that it would not be easy for a blockhead like Jing Yun to take the initiative. At night, when Mu Qiqi returned home, she saw a gold card in front of Xing Xiao. She immediately said, I have enough money to spend, you overconfident little thing. Jing Yun wants to give this to fourth sister. Xing Xiao told Mu Qiqi. So, Jing Yun really likes fourth sister, right? Mu Qiqi climbed up Xing Xiao's legs and wrapped her arms around his neck. But from the looks of it now, Jing Yun would not add to fourth sister's burden even if he dies. So, he won't say anything. What a stubborn fool. Ask fourth sister for a drink with this card and ask her to accept it. Xing Xiao buried his head in Mu Qiqi's chest. Consider it as fulfilling that fool's wish. Then, shouldn't we tell fourth sister at all? What if she really likes someone else in the future? That's his own fault, Yi Zichen said. Mu Qiqi thought long and hard, but couldn't decide if she should help. Xing Minglan didn't appear to be able to accept a relationship between a younger brother and a sister. Even if they were only 2 or 3 years apart, she only treated him as a younger brother. But what if fourth sister was like Jing Yun and kept it a secret? Still, she was afraid that if she exposed the matter, they would not be able to be friends anymore. Why was Jing Yun so infatuated? I'm really defeated by Jing Yun's cautiousness. I still want to help him test fourth sister. Mu Qiqi said to Xing Xiao, unconvinced. Xiao, help me think of something. You called me the wrong person. Xing Xiao reminded her. Chapter 274. Xing Xiao stroked Mu Qiqi's head and looked like he was enjoying it. There's no other way. Just drink with fourth sister a few more times, and she will naturally open her heart to you. Mu Qiqi knew that she had been tricked. She quickly pushed Xing Xiao away and got off his lap. Boring. Seeing that, Xing Xiao quickly pulled her down and pinned her on his lap to give her a spanking. Little one, your temper is getting worse. You're the one who taught me. Talking about me is the same as talking about yourself. Xing Xiao was speechless. She was asking for it. Soon, Grandpa Xing called the Xing family for dinner. The reason was simple. He was going to announce Xing Minglan's engagement to a British tycoon who owned a high-end fashion empire. Of course, when they got engaged, the two super corporations would also sign a strategic partnership agreement. It was literally selling his granddaughter. In Grandpa Xing's eyes, it was double happiness. Mu Qiqi was there too. She looked at Xing Minglan worriedly when she heard Grandpa Xing's announcement. Fourth sister, on the other hand, did not react at all. She appeared especially calm. It will be on the 8th of next month, before Huang Yao's event. Minglan, you must be prepared. Xing Minglan put down her cutlery and nodded at Grandpa Xing's instructions. I know, Grandpa. Congratulations, fourth sister. You've got such a good marriage. Seventh sister raised her wine glass and congratulated Xing Minglan. Now that fourth sister is married, it's your turn. Seventh sister, I congratulate you too. They clinked glasses, but neither of them was sincerely congratulating Xing Minglan. On the other hand, seventh sister did not bother Mu Qiqi that night. She was restraining herself and quietly waiting for the opportunity that Grandpa Xing had mentioned. Of course, she did not expect that the opportunity would come so soon. Everyone in the Xing family had different thoughts during dinner, and it was tasteless. After dinner, Mu Qiqi stopped Xing Minglan and winked at her. Fourth sister, let's go to Jingting for a drink tonight. Eighth brother is willing to let me take away your good night. Of course. It's not like I'm holding him up. She would not stop exercising just because she was drunk. Xing Minglan nodded and left the house with Mu Qiqi and Xing Xiao. Old Xing saw that and asked Mama Xing, fourth sister seems to be quite close to Mu Qiqi. Isn't she? It's already so late, yet you're still following me out. Fourth sister is a gentle child. Because of her gentleness, she keeps all her troubles to herself. She and Mu Qiqi are kindred spirits. Do you mind if they talk to each other occasionally? Mama Xing knew Grandpa Xing's weakness very well. Everyone in the family knew that the Englishman had remarried. Xing Minglan agreed on the surface, but it did not mean that she felt good inside. Grandpa Xing was speechless. But at the same time, he found a way to teach Mu Qiqi a lesson. Since that's the case, let them be. But when they returned to the study, Grandpa Xing went to look for Papa Xing. He sat on the chair and asked him, Huang Yao's VVIP night this year hasn't been decided yet, right? Dad, what do you think? Currently, the planning department has yet to submit a proposal. As you know, every year, the VVIP night would cause dissatisfaction among the super members. The planning department is also at their wits' end when it comes to dealing with those rich wives. So, I think it's safer to do it the usual way. Let Mu Qiqi handle this year's event. What? Papa Xing was stunned. Dad, Mu Qiqi is just a student. She doesn't know anything. How can she take on such a heavy responsibility? But she is also Xing Xiao's fiancée. Xing Xiao is the crown prince of Huang Yao and his future wife. How can she know nothing about the family business? She is a member of the Shen family. Let her test the waters. If she can't do it, it's not too late for you to do it the usual way. For a moment, Papa Xing thought that Grandpa Xing must be out of his mind to let Mu Qiqi handle such a thing. Mu Qiqi, she was just a student of forensic science. What did she know? Did she know diamonds? Did she know how to run a business? Did she know how to run a business? Just do as I say. I want to see if Mu Chi-Chi has the talent in this field and whether she can help Xing Xiao a little. Dad, are you really going to admit Mu Chi-Chi's identity? It's true that she is a member of the Shin family. But her background always makes me feel uncomfortable. Especially when she grew up in the Mu family. Don't you feel scared when Xing Xiao pampers her? There must be a reason why I asked you to arrange it. Just do it. The old man didn't explain too much. Papa Xing took a deep breath. In the end, he could only nod and do as he was told. I understand. Even so, Papa Xing still felt that it was a fantasy. Why did Grandpa Xing make such an arrangement? He had two reasons. First, it was to break Mu Chi-Chi's confidence. He wanted her to know that she could not stay by Xing Xiao's side for a long time. Second, if Mu Chi-Chi succeeded, he would give the credit to Xing Minghui. It would lay the foundation for Xing Minghui to work in Huangyao. In short, whether it was a success or a failure, it was a trap that Grandpa Xing had dug for Mu Chi-Chi. Meanwhile, Mu Chi-Chi and the others had just returned to Jingting. After Xing Xiao made room for the two ladies, he went to the study so that they could have a heart-to-heart talk. Holding the goblet, Mu Chi-Chi put the gold card on the table and pushed it to Xing Minglan. This is a little gift from me and Xiao Xiao. Consider it a stake in your company. Xing Minglan's eyes darkened. But she did not take it. I don't need money. The stronger you are, the greater your chance of winning. Even if you don't use it, you can keep it by your side to protect yourself. That way, Xiao Xiao and I can rest assured. Xiao Qi, fourth sister, I don't have many friends. I'm used to being bullied since I was young. People around me always laugh at me. Then, I met Qian. But you must have heard about what happened to her. We can't meet often because I don't want to hurt her eyes with my happiness. And now, you are the only one I can talk to. If you refuse, I will think that you don't really treat me as a family. Xing Minglan thought about it. Then, she nodded. I'll let Xing Xiao buy the shares. Let the lawyer distribute the shares. I don't care how you use it. Mu Chi-Chi smiled when she saw that Xing Minglan had accepted the money. They clinked glasses. Actually, you can go out and make friends. Does Xing Xiao want to restrict your freedom? Chapter 275. You see him as your whole life. Isn't Xing Xiao your first love? Yeah, fourth sister. Tell me about your first love too. Mu Chi-Chi went with the flow and asked Xing Minglan. I already know about my relationship with that scumbag. It doesn't count. But I only have that relationship. Xing Minglan suddenly chuckled. You're lying. Mu Chi-Chi lied. Which girl doesn't have a Prince Charming when they're young? Xing Minglan hugged the bottle of red wine and thought for a long time. Finally, she remembered the night she first met Jing Yun. Do you know how I felt when I first met Jing Yun? She suddenly mentioned Jing Yun. Mu Chi-Chi perked up at once. I've never seen such a beautiful boy. Even Xing Xiao can't compare to him. Xing Xiao only became handsome after he grew up, but Jing Yun has always been beautiful. I think I brought him home because he's handsome. Xing Minglan chuckled. As for the rest, she had a vague impression of the man. Memories are always so beautiful. That's why you remember it so clearly, fourth sister. Xing Minglan smiled sweetly as if she had returned to that time. Mu Chi-Chi knew that fourth sister might have had feelings for Jing Yun all along, although she herself didn't know what kind of feelings it was. Soon, the two women were drunk. Xing Xiao went to the living room after his shower. He shook his head and was convinced. Little one, you really know how to find alcohol. You're drinking like a cow that costs millions. Then, he carried Muchichi back to the bedroom and called Jingyun. Fourth sister is drunk in Jingting. Come and take care of her. Young master, I still have a drunk little one in my hand. Do you understand? Jingyun had no choice but to leave the Xing family's house. When he reached Jingting, he carried Xing Minglan to the bed in the guest room. That was when Xing Minglan vaguely opened her eyes. When she saw the beautiful boy in front of her, she couldn't help reaching out and caressing Jingyun's face. You're still as handsome as before. Jingyun did a double take. He didn't know what she was talking about, so he simply tucked her in and stayed by her side. Upstairs, Xing Xiao was bathing the drunkard. Although he was the one who asked this little thing to be a spy, seeing this little thing vomit made his heart ache. I won't let you drink anymore. Muchichi grunted and fell into Xing Xiao's arms. She soon fell into a deep sleep because of the alcohol. Xing Xiao did nothing, and quietly returned to the living room to clean up the mess. Xing Minglan woke up when the sun was rising. She couldn't help but feel touched when she saw that Jingyun was still by her side. Slowly, Jingyun opened his eyes to find Xing Minglan sitting on the edge of the bed without saying a word. Lowering his head, he helped her put on her shoes. Miss Minglan, do you feel uncomfortable? Actually, I don't need you to guard me. Jingting should be very safe. You have to go home when you wake up. Try not to drive after drinking. Jingyun found a perfect excuse. If there's a next time, you can sleep in another room. You feel uncomfortable lying here. Okay. Jingyun agreed. He saw the gold card in Xing Minglan's pocket, so she accepted it. Thinking of this, he felt a little relieved. He quietly left Jingting with Xing Minglan. But he didn't expect that Aunt Wu would come to Jingting so early to make breakfast. Aunt Wu was confused when she saw them coming out of the guest room. She must have misunderstood. Assistant Jing, is she your girlfriend? Jingyun was about to explain when Xing Xiao came downstairs in his formal attire. Aunt Wu, please prepare 2 more sets of cutlery. Yes, Mr. Sheng. Xing Xiao did it on purpose. He didn't give Jingyun a chance to explain. Xing Minglan couldn't help but stare at him. Why do you always ask Jingyun to come and take care of me? I don't feel at ease letting others enter Jingting. Besides, isn't Jingyun upright enough? Xing Xiao shrugged and brushed Xing Minglan off. Let's go back after breakfast. Aunt Wu has prepared everything anyway. Xing Minglan blushed. She sat down at the dining table. Xing Xiao and Jingyun followed suit. Your servant must have misunderstood. Our relationship, just let it be. Aunt Wu is already so old. Why do you need to explain? Xing Xiao looked at Xing Minglan and said. Moreover, Aunt Wu is not a meddlesome person. She doesn't like to talk too much. Xing Minglan stopped talking. She didn't know why, but she suddenly didn't dare to look at Jingyun's expression. Just like that, the atmosphere became awkward. Obviously, they could get along very naturally in the past. Because of the intimacy they had in the past 2 nights, she suddenly felt that she should keep a distance from Jingyun. Xing Xiao glanced at them. At the same time, Jingyun received a call from Papa Xing. It was because Grandpa Xing wanted Muchichi to be in charge of the VVIP night in Huangyao. So, he gave the order the next morning. Jingyun frowned after he heard it. There were so many Xings in the family. There was also a planning department. It was impossible for Muchichi to be in charge of this. But Grandpa Xing wanted Muchichi to be in charge. Young master, there's trouble. Xing Xiao glanced at Jingyun. There was a sharp light in his eyes. Then, he learned the content of Papa Xing's call from Jingyun. What is Grandpa trying to do? Xing Minglan was puzzled. This is a hot potato. Handing it to Xiao-Qi. What is he trying to do? Nominally, he wants to test Qi-er's ability. But in fact, he wants to tell Qi-er to back off. If she doesn't do it well, how would Qi-er have any face in the Xing family? Don't you think seventh sister would use this against her? Xing Xiao snorted coldly. Then what should we do? Grandpa has already arranged it. Then do it. Xing Xiao said calmly. But Xiao-Qi doesn't have any experience. Fourth sister, you don't know Qi-er. Do you think a person who dabbles in physics and chemistry doesn't have the ability and talent? Xing Xiao asked in return. So what if she doesn't have experience? I'll just teach her. If you teach her and succeed, Grandpa will give the credit to you because you are the crown prince of Huangyao. Xiao-Qi won't be recognized. But they had oversimplified the whole thing. Because Grandpa Xing wanted to give all the credit to Xing Minghui. Of course, the premise was that Mu Qiqi could really hold an outstanding VVIP night. Chapter 276. The few of them were in full swing, but the person involved in this matter was still kept in the dark, completely ignorant. I know how to take care of my own people. You just need to focus on your engagement. You don't have to worry about anything else. Xing Xiao told Xing Minglan not to be distracted. Since Grandpa Xing wanted to make things difficult for Qi-er, he would wait and see. In fact, he also wanted to know what new things the little one could come up with. He never interfered with the planning department's affairs. Therefore, other than attending Huang Yao's events, he rarely asked about them. As for the VVIP night, there had been countless teams, but the smell of gunpowder seemed to have become a tradition of the VVIP night. Every year on this day, there would be some extremely unpleasant cases. No wonder Papa Xing only wanted to do it normally to reduce the risk. Since you are so confident, I can only look forward to it. I'm afraid the little one will explode if she knows. The three of them could not help but laugh. Xing Minglan was really envious of the relationship between Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi. Although they were 8 years apart and were uncle and niece, they never had to bear the shackles. If they loved each other, they would treat each other as their own lives. After breakfast, Xing Minglan and Jing Yun left. Only then did Mu Qiqi get up lazily. Xing Xiao had been laughing ever since she came down the stairs. He did not stop even when she sat down. Mu Qiqi sat on his lap, puzzled. What are you up to? It's not me. It's someone else. With that, he chuckled again, and Mu Qiqi became even more curious. I'll tell you after you finish eating. Of course, the news spread all over the Xing family the next day. They all thought that Grandpa Xing was crazy. How could he give such a difficult task to a girl who did not know anything? Wouldn't Huang Yao become a joke in the eyes of others? Xing Minghui went straight to the garden to look for Grandpa Xing. Grandpa, didn't you say that Mu Qiqi can never enter the Xing family? Why are you? I'm doing this to pave the way for you. Grandpa Xing answered her while sipping his coffee. If Mu Qiqi does well in the event, you will get the credit. So, don't interfere in this. How could she do it well? Don't forget, she has 8th brother. In the past, 8th brother never cared about the planning. This time, I'm sure he won't either. Grandpa Xing pushed his glasses up and said to 7th brother, as long as the event is successful, you can use this credit to enter Huang Yao. Xing Minghui's face turned into a flattering one. Grandpa, I knew it. You are the best to me. So, don't bother Mu Qiqi this time. Xing Minghui was about to reply when she saw Jing Yun and Xing Minglan returning from outside. She was immediately suspicious. Grandpa, why is 4th sister always with Xing Zhao's assistant? 4th sister's engagement is just around the corner. It would be bad if there were any bad rumors. Fourth sister was at Jingting last night, so of course eighth brother sent Jingyun to pick her up. Why are your thoughts so complicated? Grandpa Xing snorted. I'm just thinking about fourth sister's reputation. I won't worry even if you have half of Jingyun's ability, let alone eighth brother. Although Grandpa Xing did not say it out loud, he still went to Jingyun and asked him about it. I saw you and Minglan coming back together this morning. What happened? Young master called me to pick fourth sister up. She was drunk and couldn't drive. Okay. As expected, Grandpa Xing was satisfied with Jingyun's explanation. If that's the case, you can go. But Minglan's engagement is just around the corner. You must keep a distance from her since there is a gap in status. I know, Chairman. Jingyun nodded. Because of the gap in status, Jingyun would try his best to control himself. He only hoped that Xing Minglan could be happy. He was willing to do anything else. On the other hand, Mu Chi-Chi's head was about to explode when she learned that she had been entrusted with such an important task. So, your grandpa wants me, a student who is learning how to dissect a human body, to participate in Huang Yao's event. Mu Chi-Chi pointed at her nose to confirm with Xing Xiao. Is his brain damaged? His brain is not damaged. He is very smart. Xing Xiao smiled. Then why didn't you stop him? Xing Xiao comforted his little one while kissing her hair. Now that the whole Xing family knows about it, how could he take it back? And as my fiancé, it is perfectly reasonable for you to participate in Huang Yao's event. Moreover, the holidays are coming soon. You have time. Just treat it as a social practice. I am a forensic doctor. I cut up corpses. I don't need social practice like planning an event. Just try it. Xing Xiao insisted. Why do I smell a conspiracy? Mu Chi-Chi felt something was wrong. But since you think I can do it, I will try it. But first, don't blame it on me if I mess it up. Grandpa Xing is waiting for you to blame it on him. Mu Chi-Chi turned and wanted to glare at him. But Xing Xiao quickly added, but I won't give him the chance. That's more like it. Show me the information. After I finish my homework, I will try to plan it. Grandpa Xing just wants to see me embarrass myself. It's not a big deal. So, in the end, Mu Chi-Chi gladly accepted the dilemma. After all, she really wanted to prove to Grandpa Xing and the Xing family that she had the ability to match Xiao Xiao. But what she did not know was that Grandpa Xing was paving the way for his granddaughter. He only wanted to humiliate or use her, and had no intention of acknowledging her at all. To put it bluntly, she was making a wedding dress for someone else. By the way, I have something to tell you. I think Jingyun has a place in fourth sister's heart. Meanwhile, in the office of Xing Minglan's new company, the lawyer came up with his answer a few hours after Xing Minglan had asked him to investigate the source of the funds on the gold card. Miss Xing, the owner of the gold card is not the crown prince. What do you mean? The owner of the card is called Zhao Lin. But I couldn't find any information about her. That is why I am worried that the source of the funds is not clean. The lawyer told Xing Minglan. You should ask the crown prince. Xing Minglan nodded and called Xing Xiao. Xing Xiao, who is Zhao Lin? What? You asked Mu Chi-Chi to transfer the gold card to me. The owner is called Zhao Lin. Don't you want to tell me who the money is? Xing Minglan noticed the problem. Chapter 277. What the hell is going on? Xing Minglan was shocked when she saw the amount. If it wasn't Xing Xiao, who else could come up with such a huge sum of money? Of course, it was just a small amount for Huang Yao. But for her, such a sum of money was like a hot potato in her hand. The reason why the money is not under my name is to prevent Grandpa Xing from finding out. So, he used someone else's account. Or do you want others to know that we are in an alliance? But you are not familiar with this Xiao Lin just now. Fourth sister, you know what kind of person your brother is. He only remembers the important people. Of course, he needs to react to these unimportant people. Xing Xiao answered smoothly. If you think that I am not thinking clearly, I will change my gold card. No need. My lawyer is just trying to figure out the source of the money. It is their job. Since Xing Xiao had explained, Xing Minglan had no reason to doubt him. She said to the lawyer, the money is not a problem. Okay, Miss Xing. Since it was Xing Xiao who gave it to her, Xing Minglan had no reason to doubt him. She had already called him. She should be relieved. But she did not know why, but she felt that something was not right. On the other hand, when Xing Xiao answered the call, Jing Yun was beside him. When he saw Xing Xiao put down his phone, he quickly thanked his young master. Thank you, young master. You used your money and it became my shares. What do you have to thank me for? Xing Xiao mocked him. Jing Yun did not say anything. His purpose was simple. He wanted to increase Xing Minglan's leverage against Grandpa Xing. Silly, Xing Xiao seemed to remember someone saying that those who looked cold were actually fanatical for one person. That saying had been proven true by Jing Yun. Soon, night fell. Mu Qiqi returned home from school and had dinner with Xing Xiao. Then, she went to Xing Xiao's study. Xing Xiao looked away from the computer and looked at her. Don't you need to prepare for the final exam? Everything is ready. Mu Qiqi put down the documents in her hand. She propped her head on her hand and looked at the man beside her. He was wearing a dark blue turtleneck sweater. He looked so handsome. You didn't look when I took off my clothes, but now you want more. Xing Xiao sneered and turned off the computer. He hugged her and asked, Tell me, what do you want? Why is it that every year during Huang Yao's VVIP night, something unpleasant always happens? I want to know the root of the problem. That way, I can find a cure for it. Xing Xiao never bothered to read the reports from the planning department. To him, there was no need for the planning department to exist. The proposals they submitted were always for insurance. There was no innovation to speak of. We have to start from a pair of high-class customers of Huang Yao. The daughters-in-law of the Liu family are sworn enemies. Although they are Huang Yao's most loyal customers, they are also a big trouble. Every year on the VVIP night, the two of them would compete with each other. I still don't quite understand. Mu Qiqi sat on Xing Xiao and listened carefully to his story. Every year, Huang Yao invites the top 50 VIPs to attend the VVIP banquet, and this pair of rich wives have been fighting for the first place for years. Are they fighting because of each other's husbands? No. The eldest Mrs. Liu was the wife of the second son of the Liu family. But the second son cheated on her and slept with another woman. After they divorced, the second son married his current wife, and the eldest Mrs. Liu married the second son's eldest brother. So that's how it works. Mu Qiqi was amazed. So, it was understandable that the two women would fight each other every day. However, the VVIP night of Huang Yao was a founding tradition. It could not be cancelled just because of the two women. But, the two of them always moved the battlefield to the VVIP night. That was why the planning department was so nervous. They burned incense every day, hoping that the night would be peaceful. It's basically a dead end. The people of Huang Yao have racked their brains but could not find a solution. The planning department is always in a mess on this day every year. But this year, they will probably set off firecrackers because Grandpa Xing has found a new target. It's not their fault. Grandpa is just too evil. Mu Chi-Chi could not help but pout. How could he put such a difficult task on me? What else do you think? Xing Xiao pinched the tip of Mu Chi-Chi's nose. Then, are the two brothers of the Lu family not getting along? Not really. The Lu family just watched them fight over the years and did not do anything. Xing Xiao explained, and laughed when he saw Mu Chi-Chi fall silent. So, are you confident enough to solve it? Such a deep grudge. It's not easy. Mu Chi-Chi rested her chin on her hand and pretended to think. Little one, you still have time to think. Mu Chi-Chi nodded. She had a feeling that many big things were about to happen. Then, is there no activity in Huangyao this Christmas? It's a regular activity. So, I can spend Christmas with you this year. With that, Xing Xiao turned Mu Chi-Chi's head and kissed her on the lips. It was soft, sticky, and very tasty. Of course, Mu Chi-Chi was not in a hurry at all. There were so many people in the planning department who could not come up with a solution. She could not solve it immediately. She was not a god. Still, when Xing Xiao's kiss deepened, she suddenly put a finger over his lips. I want the information on the two young masters of the Lu family. You can see it when you come home from school tomorrow. Mu Chi-Chi was satisfied. Only then did she throw away the information in her hand and return Xing Xiao's kiss. In 2 days, it would be her birthday. She remembered how she had to fight for Mu Tongshua's love and warmth last year. Now, a year had passed and she still did not receive any love from the Mu family. But now, she had a fiancé by her side. Mu Chi-Chi could only hope that time could slow down when she remembered how hard it was to get this moment of happiness. Just a little slower. Soon, the study became a playground for the two of them. Winter in Jianchuan was not especially cold, but there were bone-chilling winds. Late at night, Jing Yun saw the Englishman sending Xing Minglan home from the balcony of his room. He automatically moved away, only to find Xing Minglan appearing at his door moments later. Can we have a chat inside? Jing Yun did a double take and nodded. But not next time. You are the fourth daughter of the Xing family, and I am just a little assistant. Jing Yun, you know that I have never looked down on you. I know. But, fourth miss, gossip is a fearful thing. Chapter 278. You misunderstood me, seventh sister. Jing Yun explained calmly. I wouldn't have misunderstood you if you didn't say that. After all, you have been with the Xing family for so many years, and fourth sister was the one who brought you here. I think it's normal for you two to be close. Now that you put it that way, I don't understand. What did I misunderstand? Xing Minghui shrugged as she asked the two of them, and entered Jing Yun's room. When she saw the gifts on Jing Yun's desk, she knew who gave them to him. She couldn't help smiling. Jing Yun, you really care about fourth sister, don't you? Fourth sister is my savior. It's good that you don't have any improper thoughts. You should know that fourth sister is not someone an orphan like you can reach. That's enough. Xing Minglan scolded Xing Minghui. You should know whose assistant this person is standing in front of you. I know. You should look at the owner before beating a dog. Xing Minghui laughed and walked out of the room. Then I won't disturb you anymore. Xing Minglan was very angry, but Jing Yun stopped her. There's no need to fight with her because of me. But in my heart, you and Xing Xiao are the same. That's enough. Jing Yun let go of Xing Minglan's hand. Go back and rest, fourth sister. Jing Yun's place is not a place you should stay for long. You are getting engaged soon. Xing Minglan nodded helplessly. Then rest early. Tell Xing Xiao if you have any grievances. I know. Xing Minglan turned and walked out of Jing Yun's room, and Jing Yun quickly closed the door. He was afraid that he could not hold back his feelings, and with Xing Minghui's humiliation, he could not stay in the Xing family any longer. Not only that, Xing Minghui was clearly not going to let the matter pass just like that, because she was good at making a mountain out of a molehill. To not put Xing Minglan in a difficult position, Jing Yun quickly called Xing Xiao. "Young master," Xing Xiao answered Jing Yun after hearing everything. "Go to the old man right away and tell him that you're moving out of the Xing family so that seventh sister won't go there and stir up trouble. If you go to the old man first, seventh sister will become the culprit who forced you out, and the old man won't forgive her. Also, the villa that my mother prepared before, I'll transfer it to you. In the future, deduct it from the shares, and consider it as me selling it to you." "I understand, young master." Mu Qiqi was beside Xing Xiao when he answered the call. She could hear how considerate he was about Jing Yun's feelings, and thought that was probably why Jing Yun was willing to follow Xing Xiao. This man was really meticulous. On the other hand, Jing Yun immediately took action after hanging up. He went to Grandpa Xing's study in the middle of the night and asked for an audience. "Jing Yun, it's so late. What's the matter?" "Chairman, I don't think I can stay with the Xing family anymore. Please allow me to leave." Jing Yun went straight to the point when he saw the old man. "Why is that?" Although Grandpa Xing had verbally reminded Jing Yun of his identity, it did not mean that he did not approve of Jing Yun. "Miss Minghui came to my room tonight and saw Miss Minghui." With that, Grandpa Xing understood what Jing Yun meant. "What nonsense is Xing Minghui spouting this time? You're brought here by fourth sister, so it's only natural that you two would be closer. Moreover, you're at home. What nonsense could Xing Minghui spout? Miss Minghui is about to get engaged. I don't want her reputation to be tarnished, and I don't want to complicate things. That's why I hope that you can grant my request, Chairman. Jing Yun, you should know that Grandpa Xing has always treated you like his own grandson. If you want to move out, I'll find a place for you. There's no need, Chairman. Young master has already arranged it." Jing Yun replied, but his tone was polite. That was what Xing Xiao had told her. She must show her disappointment in front of Grandpa Xing. That was the only way to hurt him. "All right, if this will make you feel better, then do it." With Grandpa Xing's consent, Xing Xiao moved out of Xing Mansion overnight without informing anyone, not even Xing Minglan. The next day, Xing Minghui was still spreading rumors in the Xing family, saying that Xing Minglan and Jing Yun were really close, and were meeting each other late at night. When Grandpa Xing heard about it during breakfast, he slammed his hand on the table. "Stand up, Xing Minghui." "Grandpa." Xing Minghui was bewildered, but she could still feel Grandpa Xing's rage, and had to get up from her seat. "What nonsense are you spreading about fourth sister and Jing Yun?" "Grandpa, fourth sister is the young lady of the Xing family, and Jing Yun is just an orphan. Aren't they afraid of people gossiping about them meeting in the middle of the night?" "You're still talking." Grandpa Xing was so angry that he hit Xing Minghui with his walking stick. "You forced Jing Yun away last night, and you're still not satisfied. Jing Yun was brought back by fourth sister, and he has worked hard for the Xing family for so many years without a single complaint. His contributions to Huang Yao are not something you can imagine. You don't even have a third of his ability, and you're still trying to show off. Grandpa, she left last night because she was afraid that you would spread rumors and ruin fourth sister's reputation. Now, I thought that you would stop, but I didn't expect that you would become even worse. You don't have to eat breakfast. Go back to your room, I don't want to see you." Grandpa Xing was really angry, which was why he gave the order. However, it was a different feeling for Xing Minglan. She rose to her feet, and before Xing Minghui could leave, slapped her across the face, startling everyone in the Xing family. Especially Grandpa Xing. I'm your sister. What have I done to you that you would spread rumors about me? Xing Minghui could not say anything, knowing that she was in the wrong. It's fine that you forced Jingyun away, Xing Minghui. I won't be polite to you as your sister from now on. With that, Xing Minghui left the dining table. Everyone could feel that she was angry, and she did have a reason to be angry. Xing Minghui could only go back to her room and smash things on the floor. Why is everyone against me? Why? Don't you have any F*King idea? On the other hand, Xing Minglan went to Jing Yun's room and found that he had taken away his gifts aside from a change of clothes. And just like that, he left the Xing family's house without a word. As for the slap just now, it would be more accurate to say that it was for Jing Yun rather than for her. He moved away just like that, without even saying goodbye. Chapter 279. Jing Yun never thought about affecting Xing Minglan in any way, because he never thought that he was that important to her. Now that he was outside and had his own home, it was actually quite good. At the very least, he didn't have to worry about anything. Soon, Xing Minglan called Xing Xiao, her voice urgent. Eighth brother, where did Jing Yun go? He's my assistant. Where else could he go? But he won't be staying at the Xing family's house anymore, lest people gossip. Aren't you moving out soon? What? Are you worried about Jing Yun? He was forced away by seventh sister because of me. It's good that you know. Xing Xiao did not explain. It was his plan, because he wanted Xing Minglan to feel guilty. That way, it would be a little consolation for that sentimental person. Promise me, eighth brother. Take good care of Jing Yun. He's doing fine. The Xing family might not know Jing Yun's ability, but Xing Xiao did. After all these years, he had never met anyone in Huangyao who was more suitable than Jing Yun for his father's position. Either way, promise me. All right, I promise you. Xing Xiao's lips curled into a smile despite his reply. Xing Minglan was anxious because she had feelings for Jing Yun, even if it wasn't love right now. Of course, Xing Xiao did not forget to tell Jing Yun about Xing Minglan's worries, because he knew how precious that little bit of psychological comfort was to Jing Yun. Schedule all my time tomorrow. I'll celebrate Qi Er's birthday with her. Got it. Jing Yun nodded. Now that you've moved out and fourth sister is about to move out, haven't you thought about finding a chance to express your feelings to her? Xing Xiao was very anxious. He could not understand why he couldn't keep the woman he liked by his side. Who would care about him if he just protected her quietly like that when she marries? Jing Yun remained calm. He had resigned himself to his fate, believing that it was his destiny to protect Xing Minglan. Of course, it was absurd for Xing Xiao. Whether he was the crown prince of the Xing family or an orphan like Jing Yun, he would keep her by his side as long as he was sure of that person. Xing Xiao did not say much when he saw that Jing Yun was so stubborn. After all, EQ really differed from person to person. Still, Mu Qiqi was as angry as Xing Minglan when she heard about Jing Yun. What had Xing Minglan ever done for the Xing family? In the end, Jing Yun was bullied by her. That was why Xing Minglan's slap was so satisfying. At night, Mu Qiqi was reading the information in the study again. Xing Xiao had promised her that he would show her the background of the two young masters of the Lu family. Mu Qiqi tossed and turned and suddenly sighed. This young master of the Lu family is actually a little like you. He couldn't bear to see his sister-in-law suffer, so he gave her a new identity and a chance for revenge. Although it's a little strange for two brothers to sleep with one person, he doesn't care about the body. He cares about the soul. So, I think there's still a chance to turn things around. Xing Xiao hugged Mu Qiqi and asked her interestedly, "What's the basis of your judgment? Or is it just your intuition? Think about it, Xiao Xiao. This eldest madam has no background and would not benefit eldest young master's business. But why did eldest young master not interfere with his wife all these years and let her take revenge on her sister-in-law? It's simple. Without love and waiting, I don't believe any man could do what he did. So, I think we can start with eldest young master. I believe he wants his wife to let go of her grudge and live a new life. Wanna bet? Then how are you going to do it? That's not for you to ask. What you need to do is to make things convenient for me. Mu Qiqi said confidently. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. The Lu family's matter is also related to the VVIP Knight of Huang Yao. If you can really solve it, I'll take care of everything else. You said it. Mu Qiqi pointed at Xing Xiao's nose and promised. Xing Xiao held her hand and nodded. I said it. I mean it. Soon, they were kissing. Anyway, no matter where they were or what they were discussing, this man always had a way to turn the place into a place of pleasure. He was really shameless. But Mu Qiqi was already used to it. Anyway, she was satisfied with a man's love. This time, they only stopped when it was late at night. After Xing Xiao took Mu Qiqi for a bath, they lay on the bed. It was snowing outside the window. Mu Qiqi felt a chill and quickly burrowed into Xing Xiao's arms. It was Christmas Eve. Just when Mu Qiqi was half asleep, Xing Xiao suddenly kissed her forehead and whispered, "Happy birthday, little one." Mu Qiqi opened her eyes and revealed her snow-white arms. Where's my present? Mu Qiqi was just joking, but unexpectedly, Xing Xiao really put something in her hand. Mu Qiqi took it and sat up. There was a necklace in her palm. The two ends of the necklace were in the shape of wings, delicate and cute. And the pendant was, "This is my heart." Who would make a necklace in the shape of a heart so simply and crudely? Mu Qiqi smiled as she studied the necklace. The pendant was indeed in the shape of a heart, but it was encased in white diamonds. From afar, it looked like an irregular stone, and it had a different kind of beauty. Because she was a medical student, she could recognize it at a glance. But most people would rather see it as an irregular white diamond. The world is so big. You can't get any luxurious jewelry you want. But this pendant is a miniature version of my heart. I'm giving it to you for safekeeping. Mu Qiqi felt sweet inside. She held the necklace tightly. I'll protect it. Happy birthday. I'm happy every day with you. Mu Qiqi could not hold back her tears. Xiao Xiao, don't leave me. Don't ever leave me, okay? Congratulations. You're 19, little one. With that, Xing Xiao kissed her again. Even if Mu Qiqi was exhausted, she only wanted to respond to this man, the man she was deeply infatuated with. Soon, the two joined together again. So, the cleaning before was a waste. Outside the window, it was snowing heavily. In the warm house, flirtatious sounds rose and fell. It seemed more intense than usual. Chapter 280. It was cold outside, and it was nighttime. Of course, it was suitable for them to continue their intimacy. Still, Mu Qiqi was so tired that she could only utter a few feeble words. No, Xiao Xiao, no. Xing Xiao only let her go when he saw that she was really tired. Early next morning, Mu Qiqi received many well wishes from Qianqian, her aunt, Grandpa Xin, and Shen Jianchuan. Mu Qiqi thanked them all, and decided to visit her father before returning to the Shins for lunch. At night, Mu Qiqi planned to hold a small private gathering in Jing Ting's garden. It's a chance for Jing Yun and fourth sister. Let Qianqian come too. I haven't seen her for a long time. It's your birthday, you decide. Then I'll have Aunt Wu put a Christmas tree in the yard. Mu Chi-Chi appeared very excited. Now that her relationship with Xing Xiao was public, she no longer had to hide and could see her best friend whenever she wanted. Xing Minglan was naturally willing to go when she received the invitation. After all, Shaoqi was the only place in the entire Xing family where she felt comfortable. Still, Mu Chi-Chi told Xing Minglan in advance that Lu Qianqian would be there as well, and hoped that Xing Minglan would not mind. Don't worry. I understand, Miss Lu. Mu Chi-Chi made the arrangements. In the afternoon, she decorated Jing Ting with fifth aunt. Xing Xiao did not go to Huangyao today. He just sat in the living room and worked. For some reason, hearing the little one's voice and seeing her figure made him feel at ease and satisfied. In the afternoon, Jing Yun went to Jing Ting first and handed the important documents to Xing Xiao. When Mu Chi-Chi saw that he was about to leave, she tugged at him. What are you going to do? It's my birthday and you're leaving. Young madam. I'll come back later. Stay. Xing Xiao told Jing Yun without looking up. It's not urgent anyway. Seeing that Mu Chi-Chi wanted to decorate Jing Ting like a fairy tale world, Jing Yun went with Aunt Wu to help. Mu Chi-Chi winked at Xing Xiao, and secretly kissed his thin lips where no one could see. Still, it had been a long time since he saw so happy. Xing Xiao's lips curled into a smile. What a little one. Soon, night fell. Mu Chi-Chi asked fifth aunt to turn on the lights in the courtyard. Now, there was finally the atmosphere of a party in Christmas. Soon, Xing Minglan arrived at Jing Ting. She got out of the car and saw Jing Yun standing in a corner preparing food. Stunned, she quickly walked up to Xing Chi-Chi. Happy birthday. Mu Chi-Chi looked at Jing Yun by reflex, before asking Xing Minglan, does fourth sister have something to say to Jing Yun? You mischievous brat. He's right there, hurry up and go. Xing Minglan certainly had a lot of things she wanted to tell him, but she didn't know where to start now that she had met him. She quietly walked to Jing Yun's side and helped him unpack the food. Mu Chi-Chi shook her head helplessly when she saw their awkwardness. She was about to ask Xing Xiao for a solution, but Lu Qianqian had also arrived at Jing Ting, with Lin Mu and following behind her. My seventh. Happy birthday. Come if you want. Why did you buy me anything? Mu Chi-Chi was a little embarrassed when she saw her grandiloquent gift box. Try it and you'll know what it is. Lu Qianqian winked at her. Then what's going on with you and Lin Mu? Mu Chi-Chi lifted her chin and asked the man behind Qianqian. I said it's your birthday, but he insisted on coming. I can't help it. Xiao Chi-Chi, I've bought you a super big cake. It'll be delivered soon. Lin Mu and was very friendly, and after greeting Mu and, he chatted with Xing Xiao in the living room for a while before turning to Jing Yun and Xing Minglan. Jing Yun likes fourth sister of the Xing family, doesn't he? How did you know that? Xing Xiao asked curiously. He wasn't looking in a certain direction with a pained look on his face on the day of your engagement. Now, it's clear that it's fourth sister. Look at the atmosphere between them, it's filled with awkwardness before they start dating. Lin Mu and was an expert in the field of love, and naturally could see Jing Yun's current state and interest. Xing Xiao smiled and made a bet with Lin Mu and. I'll owe you a favor if you can get them together tonight. I'm going to earn a favor from the crown prince. Lin Mu and became excited at the mention of a favor. Isn't that like having a golden token? Then I'll see how you perform. It was Mu Chi-Chi's birthday party, and everyone was naturally relaxed and comfortable with just a few good friends. Lin Mu and found it quite an interesting challenge, and so told Xing Xiao, let's watch the show. With that, he walked to the lawn and plucked a small present from the Christmas tree, handing it to Xing Minglan. Goddess, do you still recognize me? Xing Minglan glanced at Lin Mu'en and chuckled. Mu'en. That's right. It's me. Why don't I help you? With that, Lin Mu'en took the box from Xing Minglan's hand, and accidentally covered her hand. Why is it so cold? Go to the side and rest. Warm your hands. Was Jing Yun a match for Lin Mu'en? All he could do was watch, a hint of dejection flashing in his eyes. Mu Chi-Chi and Lu Qianqian shared a look at that. That scumbag Lin Mu'en, can't you tell that he's provoking Jing Yun? Mu Chi-Chi quickly grabbed Lu Qianqian. Let him teach that blockhead Jing Yun a lesson. Lu Qianqian paused for a moment. Are you sure? I'm just worried that his philandering is acting up again. Why do you care about him? It's not like he's your boyfriend. Lu Qianqian did a double take at Mu Chi-Chi's words, and realized that she was being a busybody. All right. In fact, wasn't that Mu Chi-Chi testing Lu Qianqian as well? Seeing that she had no chance to talk to Jing Yun, Xing Minglan wanted to sit with her brother. Meanwhile, Lin Mu'en seized the chance to go to the washroom and get a towel soaked in hot water to wipe Xing Minglan's hand. A fairy's hand shouldn't be left in the snow. Xing Xiao couldn't help glancing at Jing Yun's direction when he saw that the blockhead was still focused on cooking. How could he hold it in? Mu'en, you really know how to win a girl's heart. Xing Minglan said to Lin Mu'en even as she warmed her hands. If I were a few years younger, I might fall for your suit pants too. Goddess, I don't like what you're saying. Since when did you get old? Xing Minglan laughed out loud this time. After all, who wouldn't be happy to be praised as young and pretty? Chapter 281. Soon, dinner was ready. Everyone sat around a warm stove and a sumptuous dinner, just as the cake Lin Mu'en had arranged was delivered to Jing Ting on time. Along with the twinkling lights on the Christmas tree, everyone present had probably never had such a warm and comfortable Christmas Eve. Lin Mu'en deliberately sat next to Xing Minglan, and when Mu Chi-Chi saw that Jing Yun had not taken his seat, she got up and whispered to him, "You know that Lin Mu'en is a Casanova? You'd better keep an eye on him. Fourth sister is in a low mood right now, and he could easily take advantage of it." Jing Yun glanced at Mu Chi-Chi but said nothing, though he held his plate and squeezed himself between Lin Mu'en and Xing Minglan. Mu Chi-Chi and Xing Xiao shared a look and couldn't help but laugh. Sure enough, goading worked best. It's been a long time since I played such a childish game. Do we have to make a wish on Christmas Eve? Lin Mu'en asked Xing Minglan, deliberately standing between Jing Yun and them. Why don't we all play a game, Great Fairy? I think it's a good idea. It's Chi-Er's birthday, and we're all friends here, we can have some fun. Lu Qianqian quickly raised her hand in agreement. I'm fine with it. Mu Chi-Chi raised a brow and turned to Xing Xiao. What about you? Who's afraid? Tell me the rules. We'll start with an explosive question, and everyone has to answer it truthfully. If you can't, you'll be punished with 5 glasses of wine. What do you think? Although we often meet each other, we don't really know each other. We're friends, so how can we not have dirt on each other? Lin Mu'en explained the rules of the game while asking for their opinions. Are we playing? Yes. Xing Xiao made the final decision. Alright, I'll start. You'll answer clockwise, and it's only a pass if everyone is satisfied with the answer. With that, Lin Mu'en prepared the glasses and placed them in front of everyone. Come on. Lu Qianqian was very supportive. As Mu Chi-Chi's best friend, she naturally knew why Mu Chi-Chi held this little gathering. Since it was for Jing Yun, she naturally had to put on a good show. The first question, everyone has to tell us the name of your first love. Damn. Do you still remember who your first love was? Lu Qianqian glared at Lin Mu and disdainfully. But since it's going clockwise, I'll be the first to answer. That said, my matter has caused a huge uproar. I don't need to say it, do I? Duan Xiao and... Where's the crown prince? No one doubted Lu Qianqian's answer, which was why everyone turned to Xing Xiao. Today was Mu Qiqi's birthday. If the crown prince answered another woman, he would have to kneel on durians tonight. Still, Xing Xiao was not afraid at all. His expression was composed. Do you think anyone can be my woman? After saying that, he subconsciously put his arm around Mu Qiqi's shoulder. She's the only one I like and treasure, Really? Everyone looked at him suspiciously, but Xing Minglan came out to testify. Before Qiqi appeared, eighth brother was an insulator to women. I will definitely testify for him on this point. If that's the case, pass. As for Mu Qiqi, there's no need to ask. He's the crown prince after all, and there's nothing controversial about it. What about you, goddess? Lin Mu, and then turned to the two main guests. Xing Minglan blushed and answered awkwardly, it's been a few years. You all know the name of that scumbag, Ling Feng. The next one is amazing, Jing Yun. Quick, tell us the name of your first love. Jing Yun did not say anything. He simply picked up his wine glass and finished it in one gulp, and did not stop for 5 glasses. Really? That's a pity. Lin Mu and pretended to be regretful before answering himself. My first love was a chubby girl in elementary school. Her name was Xiaxia. Lu Qianqian rolled her eyes. You're at the age where you first learn to love, while others are still playing with mud. Don't change the subject. This round is over. Let's move on to the second round, and it's going to be even more impressive. Just you wait. With that, Lin Mu rested for a moment and observed their gazes. Everyone could feel the bliss that Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi were exuding, and he wouldn't say much about it. However, both Jing Yun and Xing Minglan had a blank look in their eyes. Who's the first person who made you fantasize about sex? Slap, Lu Qianqian slapped Lin Mu at his question. Pervert. Drink if you don't answer. Cut the crap. Lu Qianqian glared at him, and promptly picked up 5 glasses of wine and finished them in one gulp. Where's the crown prince? Xing Xiao answered quickly. This time, Mu Qiqi was stunned again. Is it me too? Don't you know very well who I can get hard on? Xing Xiao whispered into Mu Qiqi's ear. Mu Qiqi blushed at once. Meanwhile, Lin Mu simply skipped over Mu Qiqi. You don't have to say it. Qiqi only has the crown prince in her heart, and now it's the goddess' turn. It was a very open question, and left Xing Minglan sweating. I'll drink, but before Xing Minglan could pick up her glass, Jing Yun had already downed 5 glasses for her. Jing Yun, you know that's breaking the rules, don't you? You didn't say I can't drink for you. Lin Mu glared at him and let him go. What about you? Answer the question. Jing Yun said nothing, and downed another 5 glasses. Could he still drink 15 glasses in a row? His face was already turning red. Lin Mu gave him a thumbs up and praised him. You can, my fantasy partner is Anna Jolie. You're the one who's cheating. Lu Qianqian was very displeased with Lin Mu's answer. That's enough for the warm-up. Everyone, let's eat, or some of you would get drunk before the food gets cold. Lin Mu's hint was quite strong, and he went to Xing Minglan with his fork and knife. Goddess, do you mind if I sit with you? Xing Minglan shook her head. Lin Mu sat down calmly, but accidentally knocked over the glass of red wine in front of Xing Minglan. I'm sorry, goddess. I'll get a towel to wipe your feet. But just as he was about to rise, Jingyun coldly cut him off. Don't bother. I'll go. But I was the one who knocked it over. I don't feel good. This time, Jingyun directly pulled Xing Minglan to her feet. Miss Minglan, let's clean up in the bathroom. You're going to catch a cold. Xing Minglan nodded and promptly followed him. Chapter 282. When they reached the bathroom, Jingyun turned on the hot water, and Xing Minglan told him, "It's just that my shoes are wet." Jingyun filled the tub and heated the towel. Then, he crouched in front of Xing Minglan, took off her shoes and covered her feet with the towel. Xing Minglan did a double take and was about to struggle, but Jingyun did not let her. It'll be fine in a while. Jingyun, don't let Lin move and touch you. He's a playboy, and I'm worried. Jingyun told Xing Minglan calmly and gently. At least, you have to meet someone you really like. That's the only way. Xing Minglan looked at the man who was crouching in front of her. The warmth of his palm was directly transmitted to her soles. When did it start? The little boy from back then had now become such a mature and charismatic man. Xing Minglan's heart was beating wildly, and her palms were sweating a little. Just were the slippers from the guest room. I'll dry them for you. The process of covering her feet was as long as a century. That was why Xing Minglan breathed a sigh of relief when Jingyun said that. Xing Minglan put on the warm slippers as she wished and left the bathroom. As for Jingyun, she did not dare to look at his face at all, afraid that she would reveal what was in her heart. When the others saw her blush when she came out, they knew that she was not completely unaware of Jingyun. Goddess, I'm really sorry. Lin moved and quickly apologized. It's fine. Let's keep chatting. Xing Minglan quickly hid her panic. Jingyun is such a blockhead. Finally, there's a day when he's considerate. Xing Xiao deliberately stirred up an ambiguous atmosphere between them, and the few of them started drinking. Soon, Jingyun returned to his seat. Even when he saw the others looking at him strangely, he remained calm. It's such a good atmosphere. It's a pity not to dance. Lu Qianqian said as she sipped her wine. Lin moved and understood at once, and extended his hand to Xing Minglan. Goddess, could you do me the honor? It's not convenient for fourth sister's shoes. Jingyun answered for her. Then Qianqian, let's jump. Lu Qianqian glared at him, but still agreed to his suggestion. The two of them walked to the lawn behind them. At this time, Xing Xiao pulled Mu Qiqi up and said to her, I'm a little cold. Accompany me upstairs to change. What do you mean by changing clothes? You're clearly trying to do something bad. Whatever the case may be, it would be best to keep Jingyun and Xing Minglan here. Mu Qiqi tried to resist, but was dragged into the bedroom by Xing Xiao, who kissed her ferociously the moment they entered. Xiao Xiao, you lit the fire. Are you trying to act shamelessly? Mu Qiqi was stunned. She didn't understand how she had seduced this man, and she didn't have the chance to figure it out because their union had already arrived. There were guests downstairs, and time was tight. But because of this, both of them were stimulated at the same time. It was even crazier and more carefree than usual. How did I offend you? Your passionate gaze when you answer me. Doesn't that count? Xing Xiao pressed his lips against the tip of Mu Qiqi's nose domineeringly. You had the same gaze when you had a crush on me, as if you wanted to devour me whole. I didn't. And yet, Mu Qiqi's protest was soon lost in Xing Xiao's deep kiss. Downstairs, the snowy wind was biting. Jingyun and Xing Minglan simply sat there as they watched Lin Mu'en and Xing Minglan dance. After a long time, Xing Minglan asked, "Did you leave the Xing family because of me?" "No. I would have to leave sooner or later." Jing Yun answered honestly. "If seventh sister didn't spread rumors everywhere, would you have left the Xing family without a word?" Xing Minglan was very clear about that. "We can't see each other often in the future, right? I'm still with young master. You can see me whenever you want, fourth sister, or you can give me a call. I'm about to embarrass grandpa at the engagement party, and the Xing family might never have a place for me in the future. Since grandpa would suppress me in the future, why would I drag you down? I'm alone. Why would I be afraid of dragging you down?" Jing Yun chuckled and drank bottle after bottle. Unwittingly, the two had finished every bottle of wine they had prepared during the banquet. By then, both of them were getting tipsy. Although Xing Minglan had a better tolerance, Jing Yun was so drunk that he slumped over the table. That was when Lin Mu and gestured to Lu Qianqian. "It's about time. We should leave. Do you think something would happen between them tonight? Just wait and see. The ambiguous atmosphere would definitely start tonight." Lin Mu and held her by the waist and quietly led her away from the banquet. And the two upstairs probably wouldn't come down either. Seeing that everyone had left, fifth aunt came out to Xing Minglan. "Fourth sister, I'll leave young master Jing Yun to you. I have to go home and take care of my grandson." "All right. Happy Christmas Eve." Fifth aunt was a perceptive person. She knew what her master was doing tonight. So, of course, she would create an opportunity for them. After fifth aunt left, Xing Minglan looked at the Christmas tree that was still twinkling, and then at Jing Yun. "You've been taking care of me the last 2 times. Today, it's my turn to take care of you." Xing Minglan spent a lot of effort to help Jing Yun into the guest room. Seeing how drunk he was, she was about to wipe his face when Jing Yun grabbed her hand. "Don't go, I'm not leaving." Xing Minglan comforted him. "I'm just wiping your face." Jing Yun was stunned for a moment. Then, he let go of her hand. "You will be someone else's wife sooner or later. I can't force you." Xing Minglan was suddenly puzzled at those words. What did he mean by that? Just as she was about to step into the bathroom, Jing Yun suddenly got up from the bed and hugged her from behind. "Jing Yun, just 5 seconds. Let me be willful this time. I'll forget about it tomorrow." Xing Minglan was surprised. Just when she was about to ask, Jing Yun turned her around and pressed her against the wall. He almost kissed her. "If I take advantage of you, fourth sister, you will hate me, right?" Having said that, Jing Yun took 2 steps back and sat on the bed. "I'm really despicable." Before Xing Minglan could say anything, Jing Yun fell on the bed and fell asleep. Meanwhile, Xing Minglan's face was completely red. Because she could vaguely feel the suppressed feelings of this man. At first, she thought that Jing Yun did not know who he was hugging, and it was inevitable that the man would be confused. However, when he called out Miss Minglan's name, she understood that everything Jing Yun did was for her. It was for herself. There was no one else. Chapter 283. Xing Minglan did not dare to wake Jing Yun up and ask him. What if she misunderstood? Still, she would not be satisfied if she did not get to the bottom of it. That was why asking Xing Xiao about it was the safest. Still, she would not leave Xing Xiao's room for the rest of the night. The next day, Xing Ming came out of the guest room with a pale face. Finding Xing Xiao drinking coffee in the living room, she went to him and sat down beside him. Jing Yun is not awake yet. The first thing Xing Xiao did was ask about Xing Minglan. After all, they had shared the same room again last night, and Xing Xiao knew what was going on. Is that important now? Xing Minglan looked at him seriously. I have something to ask you, Xing Xiao. Xing Xiao looked up with a half-smile. You want to ask me if Jing Yun likes you? How do you know? About this matter, you should ask the person in question. Do you think my words count? Xing Xiao deliberately piqued Xing Minglan's curiosity. Can't you use your heart to feel if a man likes you? Xing Minglan said nothing, but she was pretty sure from Xing Zhao's expression. It doesn't matter whether he likes you or not. You are the fourth daughter of the Xing family, and he is my assistant. His background is even less than Qi Er's. You want to know the answer first, can you shoulder such feelings? Don't point it out without thinking it through, or we won't be friends anymore. Should Xing Minglan think about that? Of course she should. Her own crisis had not been resolved, and she could not bear to drag Jing Yun down with her. What did Jing Yun do wrong? He would suffer with her. Looks like you have thought it through. You would have to face Jing Yun last night if you stay. You can leave Jing Ting now if you want to pretend you don't know anything. I'll handle Jing Yun. Having thought it through, Xing Minglan rose from the sofa. I'm going back. Take good care of Jing Yun. Xing Xiao nodded. Still, he knew that Jing Yun still had a long way to go after seeing Xing Minglan's reaction. After Xing Minglan left, Mu Qiqi went downstairs and found fourth sister's back. She was puzzled. Why did fourth sister leave? Fourth sister hasn't decided if she wants to face Jing Yun yet. That's why I told her not to appear in front of Jing Yun with such an indecisive look and make him suffer even more. Mu Qiqi nodded and hugged his neck in agreement. You're always so meticulous. It's so tiring to watch two restrained people in love. Those were Xing Zhao's exact words. To him, liking someone meant possessing them. Otherwise, what was the meaning of life? Soon, Jing Yun came out of the guest room as well, and promptly straightened his posture respectfully when he saw Xing Xiao. Don't drink so much in the future. It's hard for Aunt Wu to take care of you all night. Jing Yun's brows naturally furrowed when he heard that. He clearly remembered that the person who wiped his face last night was Miss Minglan. Moreover, they seemed to have talked quite a bit. Could it be that he was dreaming? Regardless, Jing Yun replied, I understand. Xing Xiao kept the matter a secret, and he would not tell Jing Yun what happened that night for the time being. Everything would have to wait until the time was right. Meanwhile, at the Xing residence. When Xing Minghui saw that Xing Minglan came home early the next morning and reeked of alcohol, she knew that she had gone to Jing Ting again. Fourth sister and Xing Xiao seemed to have a good relationship. Xing Minglan was already in a mess. Since Xing Minghui was here to cause trouble, she would certainly not be polite. She grabbed Xing Minghui's clothes and warned her, I advise you not to provoke me. Xing Minghui was shocked by Xing Minghui's action and did not say a word, while Xing Minghui pushed her aside. Xing Minghui clutched her pounding heart, and only snorted coldly after Xing Minghui had gone far away. Grandpa is the one in charge of this family. Could she have gotten the wrong person? Moreover, what good will it end up if she gets involved with Mu Qiqi? Having said that, Xing Minghui went to Grandpa Xing's study. Grandpa, do you know that fourth sister stayed at Jing Ting last night and did not come home? What are you trying to stir up again? Grandpa Xing stopped practicing his calligraphy with his right hand and looked up at Xing Minghui. Didn't I tell you to be quiet and wait for the results of the VVIP night? No, Grandpa. Think about it. Although fourth sister agreed to the marriage on the surface, we can all see how unhappy she is. Now that she is so close to Mu Qiqi, aren't you afraid that fourth sister would change her mind at the last minute? Is there anything that Mu Qiqi can't do? Wouldn't Xing Xiao encourage fourth sister to pursue freedom? Xing Minghui's words did not sound logical, but it pierced Grandpa Xing's worry. After all, Xing Minghui was obedient and did not resist at all. Was she afraid? It seemed that he had to plan ahead and let the rice be cooked. Alright, don't keep talking about Mu Chi-Chi all the time. Aren't you using her now? Xing Minghui shut up. She thought that it was true, and it would not be too late to deal with Mu Chi-Chi after she got through this. On the other hand, Grandpa Xing had added the step of inviting the Englishmen to their house for dinner before the wedding so that there would be no complications. What was Grandpa Xing thinking? Nobody knew. Unable to understand Grandpa Xing's intentions, Xing Minghui called Xing Xiao. Grandpa has arranged for the Englishmen to come for dinner in 2 days. Did you get the notice? I heard about it. But Grandpa Xing did not let me and Chi go home. Xing Xiao replied. Xing Xiao, why do you think Grandpa Xing is planning this? Or is he aware of it and prepared for it? I'll have my mother keep an eye on it. You can ask her if you have any trouble. Xing Xiao told Xing Minghui that since Grandpa Xing had made all these preparations and forbade him and Mu Chi-Chi from going home, it was certainly not just for dinner. Since Grandpa Xing did not want him to go home, he would go and have a party. Grandpa Xing was a shrewd man in the first place, and with seventh sister constantly fanning the flames beside his ear, some things would become complicated even if they were simple. Having received Xing Zhao's instructions, Mama Xing subconsciously paid attention to Grandpa Xing's every move. She also knew that Grandpa Xing had specially bid for a very expensive bottle of Lafitte. She assumed that Grandpa Xing was going to use it when he invited the Englishmen to dinner, but Grandpa Xing simply had it placed in his study. There was no telling what he was planning. Chapter 284. No one knew what kind of medicine it was. More importantly, Grandpa Xing did not say that he was not feeling well. Mama Xing sent the information back to Xing Xiao and asked him to analyze it. Mu Chi-Chi thought for a while and found the key information. Treating someone. Drinking. Taking medicine. I don't think Grandpa Xing has any good intentions. Xiao, we must go to Xing Mansion tomorrow and save fourth sister. Okay. Xing Xiao was busy with his work but he still answered softly. However, in his heart, he was able to associate a lot of things with it. So, he needed to verify it. He asked Mama Xing to arrange for the servants to get the medicine tonight. If they could get the results, they should send it out of Xing Mansion immediately. He would arrange for someone to do a test. But Mama Xing was not completely confident. After all, the medicine was in Grandpa Xing's bedroom. And Grandpa Xing was such a cunning man. The servants only have time to make the bed for Grandpa Xing. I'm afraid it won't be enough. That's easy. Mom, you can go and trouble seventh sister. She will definitely complain to Grandpa Xing. That will buy us some time. Alright, I'll give it a try. Mama Xing agreed because it was related to fourth sister's happiness. Mama Xing was willing to help. But if Grandpa Xing keeps the medicine in the safe, we can't do anything about it. Then I'll torture Dr. Yen. You're really... Mama Xing couldn't help but laugh when she heard that. However, she also felt that Xing Xiao seemed to have a little more human when he was with Mu Chi-Chi. He was no longer acting in his own way. At least, he had a place in his heart. Where's Mu Chi-Chi? Her. Xing Xiao glanced at the woman beside him. She was studying the information of the eldest son of the Liu family. He smiled. She is thinking of a way to solve the VVIP night in Huangyao. Huangyao has an entire team but they still can't solve it. She is just a little girl. Mama Xing sighed. You should treat Mu Chi-Chi well. Don't tire her out. It doesn't matter if you can't solve it. Let's wait and see. With that, Xing Xiao hung up and kissed Mu Chi-Chi on the head. Don't fool around. I am busy. Mom told me to love you more. I'm just doing my filial duty. Mu Chi-Chi put down her pen and looked up. Xing Xiao lifted her up from the chair. It's late, Xiao Qi. She really couldn't do anything to this man. In the Xing family, Mama Xing followed Xing Zhao's arrangement. She asked the servant to go to Grandpa Xing's room to look for the medicine. The servant knew Grandpa Xing's habit of keeping things. Other than the safe, she knew where Grandpa Xing kept the medicine. But she couldn't find it. The helper was helpless. She made one last attempt and found a small medicine bag in the corner of the safe. The helper was not sure, so she carefully opened it, looked at it, and carefully put it back. There were 4 yellow Xiaoyao pills. The servant did not dare to break them. She scraped some powder with her fingernails and took it away. She was ready to give it to Mama Xing. However, when he went out, he bumped into the old man. He panicked and was scared out of his wits. What are you doing? Master, I was just frightened. Grandpa Xing walked to the safe and looked at the medicine bag. When he found that it was still there, he waved his hand at the servant. You can leave now. After the servant left, Grandpa Xing went to check the medicine bag again. He was relieved when he saw that there were no pills missing. The servant was so scared that she broke into a cold sweat. She quickly went to look for Mama Xing. Mama Xing had just returned to her room. She did not go to 7th sister because it was too deliberate. Anyway, it was the end of the month. So, she went to talk to Grandpa Xing about the expenses of the family. How is it? I got it. I hope it will be useful for you. The servant took out a small paper bag and gave it to Mama Xing. I only scraped a little powder. It's enough. Mama Xing sent it to Xing Xiao overnight. Xing Xiao immediately arranged for the test. The next morning, Xing Xiao got the answer. It was an aphrodisiac that could be bought in the market. Grandpa Xing invited her to dinner. He prepared red wine and aphrodisiac. What was he doing? Wasn't he trying to force Xing Minglan to submit? It seemed that Grandpa Xing had noticed 4th sister's action. Otherwise, he would not want to do this. However, since Grandpa Xing treated his granddaughter like this, he could not blame him for arranging a good show. Tonight, the Xing family invited their future son-in-law to dinner. So, the servants were decorating the living room. According to Grandpa Xing, it was to make the guests feel at home. Xing Minglan was not excited. Her eyes were getting darker and darker. She could not see through her. 7th sister saw that she was upset. So, she smiled at Xing Minglan. 4th sister, aren't you curious why there is a dinner tonight? Because I secretly told Grandpa that you are too close to Mu Chi-Chi. Maybe you have been infected by her and want to get rid of Grandpa's control. So, Grandpa arranged this dinner to give you a wake-up call. This matter is already set in stone. You should just accept your fate. Xing Minglan sneered. Why wouldn't I accept my fate? I just don't know that you are such a bitch. Why would I be a bitch? I am just concerned about you. Xing Minglan said nothing. She just clenched her fists. When she returned to her room, she called Xing Xiao. 7th sister is the one who urged me to do this. Xing Xiao, I can't stand it anymore. Let 7th sister be the bride tonight. Are you sure? I am sure. Why can't I resist for once? Why should I let her do whatever she wants? Just because I'm more obedient than her, more reasonable than her. No, some people will only become worse if you are kind to them. Xing Xiao, let's do it. Sitting in his office in Huangyao, Xing Xiao smiled. The show was getting more and more interesting. If that's the case, let's add some spice to the plan. Other people's grandfathers could care for their granddaughters. For example, Grandpa Shin. There were also people who treated their granddaughters harshly and finally admitted their mistakes. For example, Grandpa Mu. But what about Xing Zhao's grandpa? He used an aphrodisiac on his granddaughter. It was such a despicable trick. Xing Minglan was determined to leave the Xing family. Such a family and such elders were not worth her sadness. So, the show tonight would definitely be interesting. Jing Yun was by Xing Zhao's side. He knew what happened from the start and felt sorry for Xing Zhao. But Xing Zhao also reminded him, if you want fourth sister to be safe, don't act rashly. I'll make all the necessary preparations. When the time comes, you just need to bring fourth sister to the hospital and send her home secretly tomorrow morning. I'll make arrangements for everything else. Although Jing Yun was worried, he nodded. Chapter 285. After business was over, Xing Xiao went home, ready to bring Mu Qiqi to Xing Mansion to watch the show. On the other hand, Mu Qiqi was already prepared. She had already changed into a long black dress and a brown trench coat. Xing Xiao raised a brow. When he saw that the little one was so feminine, he couldn't help kissing her. Stop fooling around. Fourth sister's matter is more important. Xing Xiao put his arm around Mu Qiqi's waist and they quickly got into the car. On the way, Xing Xiao told Mu Qiqi about Xing Minghui's instigation in front of the old man. Mu Qiqi almost exploded when she heard that. I don't get it. Seventh sister hates me for stealing you away and embarrassing her friend. I have nothing to say about that. But fourth sister has never done anything wrong to her. Why does she have to pick on me? Mu Qiqi almost exploded when she heard that. Fourth sister helps you at every turn and the two of you are inseparable. Of course she would mark fourth sister as an enemy. But doesn't she know how she would hurt fourth sister by doing that? Do you think fourth sister would tolerate her? Do you know what fourth sister actually said? That Xing Minghui would be a one-night bride. Mu Qiqi was stunned at that. Xing Minglan was not one to do evil to others, but Xing Minghui had made her so unbearable. Well, let's wait for the show tonight. It was 6:30 at night. The Xing family was already seated and dressed to the nines, because they had a guest, the Englishman who was sitting beside Xing Minglan. Everyone conversed in English and had a pleasant conversation. The old man was becoming more and more pleased with the Englishman, because he revealed between the lines that he would grow with Huang Yao, and that he would help the Xing family expand into the northern European market after he and Xing Minglan got married. The man was 34 years old, and appeared elegant like most Englishmen. However, he never once told Xing Minglan that he was married for the second time and had a daughter. It was a lie. The family conversed happily, but the old man never expected that Mu Qiqi and Xing Xiao would return halfway through the dinner. Why didn't you invite us to a gathering? Xing Xiao asked the old man, holding on to Mama Xing's chair. Humph. Grandpa Ji snorted. I'm just afraid that you'll ruin your sister's wedding. I'm bringing Qi back tonight just to make a living. Old master, you're thinking too much. The servants promptly brought chairs for them, while Xing Xiao led Mu Qiqi to their seats. Still, everyone in the Xing family at the dining table had their own thoughts, and were making their own plans. Grandpa Xing was afraid that Xing Xiao would cause trouble, but Xing Minghui was more than happy to see Mu Qiqi back. Because she wanted Mu Qiqi to know that Grandpa's orders were not to be disobeyed. Even though fourth sister was so unwilling, Grandpa Xing still ordered her to marry Mu Qiqi. This meant that if Grandpa Xing asked Xing Xiao to dump Mu Qiqi, he would have to do the same. But tonight, Mu Qiqi had no intention of looking for trouble at all. She talked to Mama Xing the whole time and did not seem to care about Xing Minghui at all. It was as if she was really here for dinner. But Grandpa Xing did not forget to ask about the progress of Huang Yao's VVIP night. Chi-Chi, do you still remember the topic Grandpa gave you? Of course not. How could she forget the person who dug a hole for her to jump into? Are you confident? Grandpa only cares about the results. You don't have to care about anything else. Mu Chi-Chi told Grandpa Xing confidently. I'll definitely give you a different VVIP night. You're the one who's boasting. Don't mess things up and embarrass Xing Xiao. I'll do my best for him. Grandpa Xing was deliberately diverting everyone's attention to Mu Chi-Chi so that they would not notice that he was actually helping Xing Minghui and the Englishman get together. I don't believe that an 18-year-old girl like you could do anything. Mu Chi-Chi only replied after hearing Xing Minghui's sarcasm. I'm sorry, but I'm 19. And seventh sister, I'll prove that I can do what you can't do at 25. Let's wait and see. The first half of the night was about the development of Huang Yao and the British fashion house, while the second half was about the VVIP night. After they had their fill, Grandpa Xing looked at his children and grandchildren, especially Xing Xiao. He was quite satisfied with the night, at least he was not here to cause trouble. Then, Grandpa Xing turned to Xing Minglan and the Englishman. Both of you, come to my study later. I have something to tell you. Yes, Grandpa. Xing Minglan replied, sharing a look with Xing Xiao to make sure that the show was ready. But that was when Xing Minghui shouted, Is the chef crazy? Why is there so much mustard in the seafood? It's so spicy. Sister Yun, get me a glass of ice water. Xing Xiao smirked. It seemed that he would have to raise the chef's salary. I'm coming, Miss Minglan. After dinner, everyone was still chatting when Xing Xiao led Mu Chi-Chi away. Grandpa, don't forget to call me when there's dinner in the future. If you're this obedient every time, there would be seats for you everywhere in the house. The old man snorted. Well, I wish all of you a pleasant night. Xing Xiao said meaningfully, and held Mu Chi-Chi's hand as they went downstairs. Still, they did not leave the house, because they were waiting to receive Xing Minglan. Meanwhile, Xing Minglan and the Englishman had arrived at Grandpa Xing's study, and the legendary love fight was finally presented to Xing Minglan. About the engagement ceremony, Grandpa wants to ask you if there are any changes that need to be made. It's your engagement ceremony, and I want to hear your opinions. Without batting an eyelid, old Master Xing asked someone to prepare the wine glasses and poured the red wine, preparing to chat with the two of them while drinking. The Englishman was caught off guard, while Xing Minglan deliberately cooperated. That was when Xing Minghui slowly reacted after drinking the ice water. That was why she returned to her room, intending to take a bath and see if she would feel better. But when she passed by Xing Minglan's room, she seemed to hear a woman moaning. She wanted to confirm it, but the door to Xing Minglan's room was left open, and she was locked inside after she barged in. Soon, she was paralyzed on the floor, her body in agony. On the other hand, Xing Minglan was starting to feel uncomfortable. Grandpa, I want to go back to my room. Knowing that she was having an outburst, the old man waved her off. Go, Xing Minglan promptly got up and returned to her room with a hint of rationality. Then, she fell into a cold embrace. It was Jing Yun's scent. I'll bring you to my room. Because no one knew that Xing Minghui was in Xing Minglan's room, the old man would not know that it was Xing Minglan and not Xing Minglan who was in the room. Chapter 286. Jing Yun, I don't feel good. Xing Minglan felt that this was the most embarrassing moment in her life. Her entire body was burning, and she couldn't help wanting to get closer to Jing Yun. Even so, her rationality reminded her that she must not lose her composure like that. Jing Yun brought Xing Minglan to the room he used to stay in and put her in the bathroom. Still, he could not bear to put Xing Minglan in the cold water, so he used a cold towel to ease her discomfort. Hang in there. We'll get out of here soon. Jing Yun, don't go. Xing Minglan held on to Jing Yun. This man was her only support right now. After all, she was afraid that the old man would notice them, and all her efforts would go to waste. I'm not going. I'll stay here with you. Jing Yun put the wet towel over Xing Minglan's neck, so that she could regain some rationality. Meanwhile, the drug in the Englishman's body was starting to take effect. When the old man saw him, he asked, "Are you not feeling well?" "A little." "Then rest in Minglan's room. Don't go back tonight. I'll have the servants help you in." The old man was calm and composed, showing no sign that he had done something vicious. The Englishman didn't have the strength to reply, and so entered Xing Minglan's room with the help of the servants. The Englishman couldn't find the light at all. He could vaguely see the bed, and so he walked towards it and threw himself on top of it. Meanwhile, Xing Minghui was tearing at her clothes in discomfort, and the two of them were in a blazing inferno. Soon, the room was filled with noises that left one blushing. When the servants heard that and confirmed that the job was done, they reported it to the old man. The old man seemed to have fulfilled a long-cherished wish. He ordered the servants, "Pass down the order. No matter what sounds come from that room tonight, we don't need to pay attention to it." "Understood, master." The servants were naturally happy that they could rest earlier. However, none of them knew that the woman in the room wasn't Xing Minglan at all. Even so, it was too late even if they found out now. Seeing that the servants were leaving, Mama Xing quickly informed Jing Yun. "I'll stall the old man. Find a chance to leave with fourth sister. Eighth brother's car is waiting downstairs." Seeing that his chance had come, Jing Yun wrapped Xing Minglan in his jacket so that she wouldn't be exposed, and carried her out of the house, avoiding the servants and going straight to the Xing family's parking lot. Jing Yun. Mu Qiqi waved at Jing Yun from the car. Jing Yun quickly led Xing Minglan into the car, and it was only then that Xing Zhao's car left the house. "How is fourth sister?" Mu Qiqi looked back and saw Xing Minglan blushing and moaning non-stop. Xing Xiao turned her head and instructed Jing Yun, "Go straight to Jing Ting. The doctor is already waiting there." Mu Qiqi understood Xing Zhao's intention. So, she turned on the music in the car. There was nothing to see other people's embarrassment. She had to save fourth sister's face. Jing Yun looked at the two people in front of the car gratefully. Only then did he hug Xing Minglan tightly. Her body was too hot, and if he did not relieve it in time, it would definitely harm her body. T Yun's and T Xing Zhao's T Xing Yun the her. After all, his chest was cool and comfortable. Jing Yun blushed as well. Fortunately, Mu Qiqi pretended not to know about it. The music was loud as well. "Hold on a little longer, fourth sister." Xing Minglan simply couldn't control the emptiness and desire in her body. So, she climbed onto Jing Yun's neck and nibbled his ear. Jing Yun held her down, afraid that she would do something more extreme. Finally, the car entered Jing Ting. Jing Yun quickly carried Xing Minglan down the car, and the family doctor reacted quickly. After checking Xing Minglan, he took out a syringe and injected her with some medicine to relieve the heat. "There's a process. Wipe her body with a wet towel." At that, Jing Yun carried Xing Minglan to the bed in the guest room, and went to the fridge to get some ice. Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi shared a look. They really thought that Jing Yun would have to rely on his own abilities to stay single. With the medicine, Xing Minglan regained some of her rationality. When she saw Jing Yun busying himself, she tugged at his sleeve. "Jing Yun, what is it, fourth sister? Jing Yun, what is it, fourth sister? Jing Yun quickly crouched in front of Xing Minglan. I feel terrible. I feel terrible. Don't you like me? Just take me. Jing Yun's whole body stiffened at Xing Minglan's words. Fourth sister knew that he liked her. And she even told him to take her. Fourth sister, you've already seen the doctor. You'll be fine after a while. Jing Yun calmed Xing Minglan in the next second. But it's really terrible. Xing Minglan reached out to tug at her clothes, and accidentally revealed a large part of her body. Jing Yun quickly covered her with a blanket. You'll be fine soon, I won't feel terrible if you take me. I won't take advantage of you. Jing Yun told Xing Minglan very firmly. There's some ice here. I'll put it on for you. You'll be fine soon. Some wrong things should not happen at the wrong time. Jing Yun's mind was very clear. He did not want Xing Minglan to have the wrong idea of marrying anyone but him because of this. He hoped that Xing Minglan would be clear-headed whenever she made a decision. Xing Minglan did not say anything else. She closed her eyes and cooperated with him. Soon, she got through the most difficult part and felt much better. After a while, Xing Minglan opened her eyes and looked at Jing Yun. Don't tell anyone about what happened tonight. Don't worry. I won't do it for the rest of my life. Jing Yun promised. Xing Minglan was relieved and closed her eyes. At the same time, she had a new understanding of Jing Yun. This man was really mature. Outside the door, Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi were sitting in the living room. Mu Qiqi glanced at the door of the guest room and asked, Xiao Xiao, do you think they can make any progress? Fourth sister is already like this. Xing Xiao shook his head. Jing Yun won't take advantage of others. He wasted such a good opportunity. Even if he doesn't make any progress, he could still confess. Fourth sister knows Jing Yun's feelings. Xing Xiao pinched Mu Qiqi's nose. All right, let's not waste time. Go wash up and rest. What about you? I still have to send fourth sister home in the morning. Xing Xiao nudged Mu Qiqi. Go rest. I'll be up soon. Chapter 287. Waves of lust came and went, but when Xing Minghui's stamina was completely drained, she finally realized that something was wrong. She was now lying in a man's arms, and they had done it countless times just now. What was going on? It was almost daybreak outside, and yet Xing Minghui was having it with her brother-in-law. At that thought, she promptly jumped off the bed, holding back her discomfort as she returned to her room. When she reached the bathroom, she saw that her body was covered in marks of lovemaking. The crazy scene from last night flashed through her mind page by page. She slept with that Englishman. What about Xing Minghui? Last night, she vaguely heard moaning in Xing Minghui's room, which was why she pushed the door open and entered. After that, she had no recollection of anything else apart from the Englishman's madness. She simply could not remember anything else that happened last night. Xing Minghui was sent back to the Xing mansion in the wee hours of the morning, and only returned to her room after Xing Minghui ran away as if she was running for her life. From the atmosphere in the room, one could feel what kind of drama had played out here last night. Xing Minghui pretended to wake up in her room, and woke the Englishman up. How could the Englishman know that he was not sleeping with his fiancée? Hence, he tried his best to explain to Xing Minghui. Although Xing Minghui felt wronged, she told the Englishman that they were going to be engaged anyway, and this was merely fulfilling their duty as husband and wife ahead of time. When Grandpa Xing saw the two of them coming out of the room, he knew that it was a done deal. With Xing Minghui's personality, she would not have any other thoughts since she had already given herself to the Englishman, and would be content with the engagement. Hence, the Xing family kept quiet about what happened last night, although they knew what had happened. Everyone believed that Xing Minghui and the Englishman were inseparable, and only Xing Minghui knew who had slept with the Englishman last night. Could she tell Grandpa Xing about it? Not unless she wanted to die. Even so, she would not lose her chastity for no reason. Therefore, after breakfast, Xing Minghui grabbed Xing Minghui's wrist and dragged her to the Xing mansion's garden. Fourth sister, you're really good. You planned everything last night, didn't you? Xing Minghui, do you still want to rub salt into my wound? Xing Minglan's eyes reddened too. Grandpa drugged the wine and made me give myself to this Englishman. Isn't that you're doing? You're trying to sow discord. Don't you know Grandpa will treat me like this? Xing Minghui stared at Xing Minglan as if trying to determine if she was telling the truth. How would I know that Grandpa would drug you? You don't know. Do you dare to say that you didn't know anything when Grandpa wanted to attend this banquet? Indeed, she had guessed it and was prepared to watch the show, but she had no intention of watching herself. Xing Minghui looked into Xing Minglan's eyes but could not find any flaws. Even so, it was clear that she and the Englishman had rolled around in Xing Minglan's room last night. Did the old man drug Xing Minglan? But why was she the one being drugged? And where was Xing Minglan when she had sex with the Englishman? Or rather, with whom? But she could not see anything from Xing Minglan's eyes. Was she going to lose her virginity for nothing? No, it definitely had something to do with Xing Minglan. But she did not have the guts to ask Grandpa about it. Fourth sister, you better not let me know that you've schemed against me. I schemed against you. If it wasn't for you, would I be where I am today? Xing Minglan pulled up her sleeve and saw a bruise on her arm. It was left by forceful sucking, and it was exactly the same as the one on her body. But it was not from someone else's kiss. Xing Minglan had inflicted it on her arm herself. How else could she hide it from Xing Minghui? Xing Minghui did not say anything else and left the garden. She simply could not figure out what went wrong. She had rolled around with her brother-in-law for a night. If Grandpa knew about it, he would definitely kick her out of the house. To make sure that Xing Minglan was not lying, Xing Minghui went to the study and tested the old man. Grandpa, fourth sister seems very sad last night. She has no choice but to be sad. I did it for her own good. Fourth sister said that you drugged her, that has nothing to do with you. Grandpa Xing's face fell and stopped Xing Minghui. How could she say such things openly? Still, Grandpa Xing's attitude made it clear to Xing Minghui that Xing Minglan must have fallen into the old man's trap. But what about her? Who could she complain to about her grievance? She felt utterly disgusted after being used by the Englishman for a night. Meanwhile, Grandpa Xing felt guilty towards Xing Minglan and became even more tolerant towards her. He did not stop Xing Minglan even when she went out at night. Xing Minglan went out to make sure that her body was fine, and stayed by Jing Yun's side. After that, Xing Minglan went to Jing Ting. Seventh sister is probably wondering why she woke up in my room out of the blue. Xing Minglan said as she drank. If she didn't provoke Grandpa, this wouldn't have happened. Of course, I don't want to stay in this Xing family anymore. I feel disgusted even for a second longer. Fourth sister. Mu Chi-Chi caressed her palm. You will be free soon. Everything will be over. Free? Xing Minglan sneered. Do you think Grandpa would let me go after I did such a heinous thing? Still, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's better than sitting here and waiting for death. Miss Minglan, it's getting late. You should go back and rest. Jing Yun reminded her. I'm not going back tonight. Grandpa knows that I hate him, so he's not in the mood to care about me. With that, Xing Minglan turned to Jing Yun beside her. Xing Xiao and the others are resting. Why don't you talk to me for a while? This is my house. Xing Xiao looked at them and gestured at the guest room with his chin. You two go in, Xing Xiao. Xing Xiao glanced at them before turning to Mu Qiqi. Go wash up. I'm going to the study. I'll be back in my room soon. All right. Mu Qiqi nodded. She had a feeling that Xing Minglan had something to tell Jing Yun. Jing Yun was feeling a lot of pressure, especially after seeing Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi go upstairs. He felt his entire body stiffening as he faced Xing Minglan, who was awake. About what happened last night, I won't tell anyone. Jing Yun quickly said. Chapter 288. No, Jing Yun answered honestly. Jing Yun answered honestly. Because I know that if I really did that, you would hate me when you woke up. Hate you? Xing Minglan chuckled. I'm already the Englishman's woman in other people's eyes. What else do I have to hate? It will all pass. Grandpa is so cruel. Xing Minglan said, and promptly gulped down a glass of wine. But I didn't let seventh sister take advantage of me either. Miss Minglan, Jing Yun, why don't we get together? What do you think? Xing Minglan put down her glass and suddenly crooked her finger at Jing Yun. It was only when he came close that she asked him, get together with me. Jing Yun shook his head despite his shock. Miss Minglan, please stop joking. I have my dignity too. Even if Jing Yun had no background, his feelings were not cheap. He would not wag his tail like a dog when the person he liked responded to him. I'm serious. If I can leave the Xing family this time, I'll come to you. With those words, Xing Minglan curled up on the sofa and fell asleep in no time. When Jing Yun saw that, he carried her into the guest room. He was as calm as ever, because he never thought that Xing Minglan was serious from start to finish. Perhaps she was just drunk. Upstairs, after washing up, Mu Qiqi sprawled on the bed to read some documents. When Xing Xiao entered the bedroom and saw that, he promptly patted her butt. Time to sleep. Why do I feel like our house has become a place where fourth sister and Jing Yun are having an affair? Weren't you the one who wanted them to get together? Xing Xiao tugged off his towel and lay on the bed. Mu Qiqi quickly leaned over and lay on his chest. I'm going to meet the eldest son of the Lu family tomorrow. I have to finish my homework before fourth sister's engagement party. Bring bodyguards. Got it. Mu Qiqi nodded. I really want to see fourth sister and Jing Yun together. Meanwhile, Xing Minglan did not return home. Meanwhile, seventh sister was in her room investigating the Englishman. Although this man was divorced and had a child, he was indeed very capable in that aspect. In addition, he owned a high-end fashion empire. In fact, she felt that she could consider this marriage. She did not need to take care of the child, and this man was not much older than her. He was a good man in all aspects. Why did she feel that Xing Minglan was wronged by marrying this man? Now that she and this man had done the deed of husband and wife, she had tasted this man, if she was the one engaged to a British man. Wouldn't Xing Minglan's reputation hit rock bottom? Who would want second-hand goods abandoned by the British? Anyway, the man was unmarried, and the woman was unmarried. Why couldn't she? With that in mind, Xing Minghui had her own plans, and this was probably something that no one had expected. When that time comes, she would have the capital to deal with Mu Qiqi. After all, she would not let herself suffer for nothing. If that was the case, it was better to snatch it from Xing Minglan's hands. The next day, Mu Qiqi left Jingting dressed like a university student and went to the Lu family's company. The receptionist asked her if she had a special appointment because the eldest son of the Lu family had no time for a bored little girl. Mu Chichi did not say anything else, and simply asked the receptionist to pass the message. I'm Mu Chichi. I would like to have 10 minutes of your time, Mr. Liu. I hope that you can pass the message. The two receptionists were stunned when they heard Mu Chichi's name. The young bride of the Xing family was famous throughout Jianchuan. Since she was not a poor university student, the two receptionists certainly passed the message. After waiting for a while, she finally got an unexpected 10 minutes. Eldest Lu's secretary brought her directly to the CEO's office. And before that, Eldest Lu had just finished a collaboration. CEO, Miss Mu is here. I'll be right there. Judging from his voice, Mu Chichi felt that he must be a refined person. And the truth proved that Mu Chichi was right. The young master of the Lu family was indeed refined to the core. Even the way he pushed up his glasses made him look like he was a man of good taste. May I know why you are here, Miss Mu? For your wife. Mu Chichi said straightforwardly. Oh, for Zixin. But, we don't know each other. Eldest Lu replied to Mu Chichi. I want to resolve the awkwardness of Huang Yao's VVIP night, so I came to disturb you, for that. That's Huang Yao's business. Why did you come to me instead of taking good care of your customers? Young Master Lu, do you want your wife to live in hatred all the time? If you can resolve the hatred in her heart, your life will be different, won't it? After hearing Mu Chichi's words, CEO Lu laughed. As her husband, I have spent 7 years and still could not make her let go of her hatred. You are just an 18-year-old girl. Do you think I can trust you? But this is a chance. Since the worst-case scenario is no result, why don't you let me try, CEO Lu? What do you want me to do? All you need to do is to prepare a gift for your wife, Mu Chichi replied. Is it that simple? If it's that simple, I would have done it long ago. There's no need for you. I can't be arrogant and force my thoughts on you. Besides, I promised you that I would only take up 10 minutes of your time. I won't take up another second of your time. I'll leave now. Mu Chichi was not a pushover. She was just telling eldest young Master Lu about the pros and cons. As for the rest, it naturally required the consent of the person involved. Soon, Mu Chichi walked out of the room. Meanwhile, eldest Lu became interested in Mu Chichi. She was just a child herself. Could she change Xixin's mind? That would be a joke. That was why he did not care about Mu Chichi at all. What earth-shattering things could an 18-year-old do? Mu Chichi was so young and inexperienced that no one would trust her. The only one who trusted her was Xing Xiao. Mu Chichi knew that, which was why she did not intend to give up after just one try. Sincerity was necessary to convince others, but ability was the key to gaining recognition. At the same time, she could not delay others' work, which was why she planned to come at noon the next day. On the way back, Xing Xiao called Mu Chichi. How did it go? Not much. Because no one believes me. Mu Chichi pouted. You're giving up just like that? If he doesn't believe me, I'll do it until he does. No husband would want his wife to live in the abyss of the past. I'm trying to help him, and I believe he will understand. Xing Xiao smiled and hung up, but after putting away his phone, he had Jingyun ask for eldest Lu's number. Are you planning to intervene, young master? Chapter 289. After what happened that night, Xing Minghui began to weigh her chances of snatching the Englishman from Xing Minglan's hands. How could she face the man at home after losing her chastity to her brother-in-law? Moreover, she had a taste of the man's ability in that aspect, which was the most addictive part of her. Sometimes, women cared so much about a man's sexual bliss. Moreover, with the man's comprehensive ability in all aspects, she felt that she could give it a try this time. Still, there would definitely not be any consequences if she broke through Grandpa Xing and Xing Minglan. But it would be a different story if she could break the Englishman's bottom line first. After a long time of planning, Xing Minghui finally got the man's contact information and knew which hotel he was staying in. There were only a few days left, and the preparations for Xing Minglan and the man's engagement ceremony were complete. It would be too late if she didn't get there soon. As usual, Xing Minglan and the Englishman tried on gowns and accessories while making final confirmations about the hotel. That night, Xing Minghui was waiting outside Xing Mansion. When she saw the Englishman's car leaving the house, she made up her mind to chase after it. When they reached the hotel, she directly blocked the Englishman's way. Their gazes met, and there seemed to be a mysterious attraction between them. After all, the craziness of that night had left a deep impression on both of them. "You are Minglan's younger sister." Xing Minghui approached the Englishman and whispered under his chin. "I'm the woman who spent the night with you." The Englishman's gaze was shocked, but there was also a throbbing. "How can you prove it? Won't you know when we go to the room?" Xing Minghui arched a brow charmingly. Hence, they entered the room, and once inside, Xing Minghui wrapped her arms around the Englishman and started kissing him, oblivious to everything else around her. And it was that familiar taste that made the Englishman come to a sudden realization. "It's you, it's really you." "Of course it's me," Xing Minghui said seductively. "It must be unforgettable. Ever since that night, I couldn't forget you." Now that the Englishman's flame had been ignited, he naturally wanted to inspect the goods. Therefore, they soon fell onto the bed behind him, and in no time at all, they were inseparable. It felt exactly the same as that night, and the Englishman almost lost his mind. "I didn't expect it to be you. It was such a wonderful feeling. But you're about to get engaged to my sister." After that, Xing Minghui got up from the bed to keep the Englishman away. "You will be my brother-in-law in a few days." "Minglan. I don't want her. I want you. I want you." Xing Minghui put on her clothes and smiled provocatively at the Englishman. "Do you dare to go to the Xing family and ask for my grandfather's hand in marriage?" Xing's flame was no longer. The Xing Lishman's old Xing was Xing. Their Xing's Ling was old Xing. Sheng. I. Xing. He Xing Li said. Sheng. He. Sheng, it's still you. With that, Xing Minghui picked up her handbag and was about to leave when the old Englishman grabbed her and pressed her down. "I want you. I want you." Sometimes, relationships between men and women were weird. It began with an accident, only to become infatuated with that accident. Xing Minghui certainly couldn't return to Xing Mansion that night. After all, she really liked the Englishman's body and abilities. How could Xing Minglan's meek personality win over the Englishman who loved thrills? It was better to let her have him. The next day, Xing Minghui returned home full of energy and charm. After all, she had slept with Xing Minglan's fiancé, which made her feel like she had snatched something from Xing Minglan. At the dining table in the morning, old Xing told everyone to focus on the big event in 2 days. After all, it wasn't Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi's engagement, and the Xing family had to be present. Moreover, the old man specifically told Xing Minghui, "Fourth sister is getting engaged. Could you not mess things up?" "What, Grandpa? Do I like to mess things up?" Xing Minghui asked with a smile. "You have the nerve to say that." The old man snorted and said nothing else, but Xing Minghui chuckled to herself. Was she just messing things up? What could Xing Minglan do to her if she wanted to snatch this person away? Even Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi couldn't force the Englishman to marry fourth sister, could they? At the moment, Xing Minghui was rather smug. She simply didn't know that she had helped Xing Minglan leave the Xing family. In the afternoon, Mu Qiqi arrived at the Lu family's house again. She didn't need to make an appointment with eldest Lu at the front desk, and simply sat quietly in the living room, reading her books and completing her homework. Eldest Lu didn't come to see Mu Qiqi when he heard about it from the secretary, and continued with his own business and meetings. Mu Qiqi didn't insist, and left the Lu family's house half an hour later, saying that she would come again. The secretary couldn't help chuckling when she conveyed Mu Qiqi's message. If the little girl really wants your help, couldn't she just ask the crown prince to come personally? Eldest young Master Lu pushed up the golden glasses on the bridge of his nose and shook his head. If she comes again tomorrow, ask the receptionist to tell her that if she can't come up with a feasible solution, she shouldn't show up again. Many things can't be done with sincerity. Got it, CEO. Mu Qiqi was only 19 years old, and no one would put their hopes on a little girl like her to stir up trouble. Still, Mu Qiqi wasn't discouraged. Although she felt that she could do it without eldest Lu's help, she still wanted to do it perfectly. The Xing family's expectation for her was that she would complete her mission as long as the two daughters-in-law of the Lu family didn't fight. What special VVIP night? Could she do it with her ability? Moreover, the most important thing for the Xing family now was Xing Minglan's engagement, and no one would care about what she was planning for now. That night, Xing Minghui was having a passionate affair with the man who was going to be her sister's. She seemed to be especially infatuated with the feeling of teasing Xing Minglan. So, the things she could do with this man were even more unrestrained. Who wouldn't like such a stunner? She was open-minded and knew how to play tricks. If she could make a man happy in bed, what else could she not get? You're going to be engaged to my sister in one day. Are you really going to abandon me? Baby, it's just an engagement. You can call it off. Chapter 290. Of course I only want you, you know how infatuated I am with you, and your body. Then wouldn't it be better if we could officially get engaged? I would agree to anything you want then. But now, we can only have an affair. The Englishman couldn't stand the pressure and clutched his head. Baby, let me think about it. Then take your time. Don't even think about touching me before you think it through. The man was wavering because he was afraid that old Xing wouldn't agree to it. It seemed that she had to come up with something, or wouldn't everything be for naught once the engagement ceremony was held? Xing Minghui returned to the Xing family in the middle of the night, but kept thinking about how she could stir things up. Meanwhile, Xing Minglan was still seriously preparing for the establishment of her company. Both of them wanted to make a big deal out of the engagement ceremony, but Xing Minglan never expected that Xing Minghui would be so shameless. On the next day, there was only one day left until Xing Minglan's engagement ceremony. Over the last few days, Xing Xiao had noticed that Jing Yun's mind was entirely on Xing Minglan, and his heart was hanging by a thread for her. What Xing Minglan said that night was like a dream to him. To be honest, did he not have any expectations? That was impossible. But he knew that Xing Minglan was already drunk at the time, and was clearly joking. If you're so worried, why don't I give you a few days off and keep fourth sister company? Jing Yun quickly came to his senses at Xing Zhao's teasing voice. I'm sorry, young master. Go. See if fourth sister needs help, or perhaps you need to keep an eye on the Englishman. After all, he knew very well that Jing Yun was just a shell even if he stayed by his side, and it was time for him to groom a new assistant. After all, how much longer could Jing Yun help him? Jing Yun glanced at Xing Xiao, but obeyed and left his side. At that, Xing Xiao called the eldest son of the Lu family. Chief Lu, it's Xing Xiao. The other party finally laughed when he heard Xing Zhao's voice, but there was a hint of mockery in his voice. I knew it. Knew what? Or did you think that Mu Chi is just a 19-year-old girl who can't do anything other than rely on me? That's why you called. As you think, eldest young Master Lu answered honestly. Eldest young Master Lu, I'm very displeased with your attitude. Xing Zhao's voice began to turn cold. How about this? I don't think you really care for your wife. Otherwise, why wouldn't you dare to gamble when there's no loss of interest? I will talk to Qi. I don't need your cooperation. We will settle the VVIP night in Huangyao as usual. But I can't guarantee that your wife's attitude towards you will change after that night. Are you threatening me? It's just as you think. Do you think that Mu Chi can't do anything with me around? Eldest young Master Lu, he did not consider this relationship at all. He simply did not trust Mu Chi. That's it. With that, Xing Zhao was about to hang up when eldest Lu suddenly spoke up to stop him. I can work with you, don't tell Qi, that I called you. This time, Xing Zhao really did hang up. On the other end, eldest Lu was suddenly curious. From the looks of it, the crown prince did not call because Mu Chi asked him to, and Mu Chi was not in the know. Moreover, Xing Zhao told him not to tell Mu Chi. In other words, he wanted to protect Mu Chi's pride. It seemed that the rumors were right. The crown prince really did treat his little bride as the apple of his eye. Since Xing Zhao was backing him, he could give it a try. After years of being stuck in a marriage, he wanted some change. That afternoon, Mu Chi met eldest Lu as she wished, and he was delighted. How do you want me to cooperate? Mu Chi was taken aback. Why did eldest Lu suddenly change his mind? What? Didn't you want me to cooperate? I just need you to think of a way to get this set of jewelry. This was polished not long after Huangyao was established. It is priceless. It was originally not for sale, but in order to tide over the difficult times, the CEO of Huangyao auctioned this set of jewelry. I want your wife to become the most beautiful person on that night. I want her to understand that she has a husband who loves her the most. She should be looking down on those despicable people now. So, are you willing to let her shine on the bright night gala? Eldest Lu nodded when he saw the exquisite set of jewelry. It's been years since I gave Zixin a decent gift. This is the perfect time to make up for it. Tell me on time whether you find the set of jewelry or not, or I can prepare something else. Is this what you want me to do? Eldest Lu became even more curious about Mu Chi. You're trying so hard to help me save my marriage, just so that Huang Yao's VVIP night could break the usual stalemate. Because that's the crux of the matter. Mu Chi did not waste too much of eldest Lu's time, and left the office after she was done. Eldest Lu was even more intrigued now. Just when you thought that this girl was just a rich second-generation heir, she quickly slapped you in the face. Interesting, I finally understand why the crown prince fell in love with her. Chief Lu, Mu Chi is not as simple as she seems. His secretary replied. Then let's look for the jewelry. I want to give Zixin a surprise too. Yes, Chief, in fact, Mu Chi was not without doubts even after she left the Lu family. Wasn't it strange that she suddenly changed her attitude when she was unhappy to see her 2 days ago? Therefore, when she got home, Mu Chi quickly found Xing Zhao and climbed onto his thighs to interrogate him. Did you contact that young master of the Lu family behind my back? Xing Zhao was unmoved. Did he give you the green light? Was it you? Mu Chi tugged at his ears and shook him. Was it you? Only you would dare to twist my ears like that. Xing Zhao shielded Mu Chi, not letting her fall off his thighs. Humph. Can't you let me rely on myself? At most, I'll spend twice as much time, but I'll always be able to do it. If you do this, it'll really become your homework this time. I'm just giving you a chance. I might not help you even if you beg me later. Xing Xiao said, pressing down on his little one. Chapter 291. That's a promise. You're not allowed to interfere from now on. Whoever does is a pig. Mu Qiqi clung onto Xing Xiao's shoulder and made a promise. Xing Xiao couldn't help leaning back and looking at Mu Qiqi with a half-smile. Aren't you the pig I'm rearing? How is fourth sister doing? It's almost the engagement ceremony. Will she be all right? You should ask Jing Yun about that. Xing Xiao held her down so that she wouldn't move, tidied up the documents in front of him, picked her up and walked to the bedroom. There was only one night left. How could Xing Minghui not be anxious? Over the last few days, she had been making love with this man every day. Wasn't it to change his mind? However, this man, until now, did not move, and she was already anxious. Will, if you don't explain things to Grandpa tonight, I'll give birth to the child when I get pregnant. You'll be in even more trouble when things get out of hand. I haven't used any contraceptives these days, you know. In fact, the Englishman was on the verge of breaking down too. He was obsessed with Xing Minghui. He had thought that he could calm Xing Minghui down first and correct the mistake after the engagement ceremony. But Xing Minghui clearly wanted herself to be the bride-to-be at the engagement ceremony tomorrow. And just as Xing Minghui said, she might be pregnant. If that was the case, he could change his bride. So, at 8:00 that night, Will suddenly called Grandpa Xing and asked for a meeting. Half an hour later, Will's car arrived at Xing Mansion, and he went straight to Grandpa Xing's room. But 2 minutes later, Grandpa Xing flew into a rage and barked at the servant, "Get Miss Minghui and Miss Minghui here." Xing Minglan was still at the new company and completely unaware of what was happening when Grandpa Xing suddenly summoned her to the Xing family. Jing Yun followed her, fearing that she might have some problems and need help. When they arrived at Xing Mansion, Xing Minghui was already kneeling in Grandpa Xing's study. "Grandpa, Minglan." Grandpa Xing found it hard to speak. "Xing Minghui, tell your fourth sister yourself." Xing Minghui glanced at the old man and then at Will, before rising to her feet and telling Xing Minglan, "Actually, the one who slept with Will that night was me, fourth sister." "What do you mean?" Xing Minglan asked. "What do you want to do before I get engaged?" "Fourth sister, it's true. Because of this, Will and I love each other and want to be together. That's why he wants to break off his engagement with you and get engaged to me." Xing Minglan took 2 steps back at that. "Say that again." "Will wants to replace me as the betrothed bride for tomorrow's wedding. Actually, we've been together for the past few days. We really like each other. He's just afraid of hurting you, so he hasn't said anything. But we don't want to continue making mistakes, so..." Will came to Grandpa and laid his cards on the table. He doesn't want to make a huge mistake. At that, Xing Minglan slapped Xing Minghui. "To put it bluntly, aren't you the one who snatched my fiancé? What was the point of saying so many high-sounding words? B*TCH. Grandpa drugged my wine that day, and you're saying that you were the one with Will. What about me?" Xing Minglan was furious. "Do you think getting engaged is like playing house or shopping? We've already sent out the wedding invitations and everyone knows that I'm getting engaged to Will tomorrow. And now you're trying to snatch my love away. Is this how you treat your sister, seventh sister?" "Minglan, I don't know where you were that night, but I'm sure that you weren't the one who slept with me. You can go for a checkup." Will had joined Xing Minghui's side. "So? You adulterous couple, what do you want?" "Minglan, don't get so worked up. The old man tried to calm her. Xing Minglan was shaking all over. Grandpa, you're the one who wanted me to marry Will, and you're the one who drugged my wine. You're also the one who wanted me to get engaged to Will. Now, I've resigned myself to fate, but my sister stole my fiancé away. Wouldn't you be worked up if you were me? Tomorrow is the engagement ceremony. It's useless for you to be emotional now. I'm also angry at the two of them, but they've been hanging out together for the past few days. Who knows, they might have a child soon. If you two get engaged tomorrow, won't you be at a disadvantage? Grandpa, I won't agree to cancel the engagement. At most, we'll blow things up tomorrow and see who's in the right. Fourth sister, I'm begging you. I really like Will, and you won't be happy with him if you force yourself to be with him. But Grandpa was the one who forced me in the beginning. He didn't even ask me if I'm willing. Anyway, I won't budge no matter what you say. The engagement ceremony will continue tomorrow. Minglan, you can't do that. Otherwise, the Xing family's reputation would be ruined. The old man stopped her. Wouldn't people talk about the Xing family if we changed the bride tomorrow? Xing Minglan asked the old man in return, tears streaming down her face. I don't agree. Minglan, seventh sister is shameful, but I'll find a better man for you if she takes your place and gets engaged to Will tomorrow. There's no need. Xing Minglan yelled in despair. Grandpa, you're biased towards seventh sister. You think of everything for her, which is why you're sacrificing me. Fine, if that's the case, there's no point in me living. I'd rather die cleanly. With that, Xing Minglan picked up a fruit knife beside her and slit her wrist. The old man was terrified when he saw it. Minglan, silly child. Don't come near me again. You can let seventh sister replace me tomorrow. But let me tell you, from today onwards, I'm no longer a member of the Xing family. If you arrange another marriage for me, I will die in front of you. I mean it. The old man panicked. Put down the knife. I'll promise you anything. Promise me everything, including letting me continue the engagement tomorrow. Well, set me free if you can't, or don't save me. The old man knew very well that it was a huge blow to Xing Minglan, which was why he had to relinquish his control over her. I'll listen to you. I won't force you again. I want you to swear it, or the Xing family will end without descendants. Xing Minglan raised her right hand determinedly. Chapter 292. Remember your vow today. Xing Minglan finally put down her right hand after she heard that. Seventh sister, hurry up and get a doctor for your fourth sister. Grandpa Xing quickly said when he saw that Xing Minglan had relaxed. In fact, Xing Minghui did not expect Xing Minglan to have such a big reaction. So, she quickly went up to Xing Minglan and tried to cover her wound. But, no need. Don't touch me. Xing Minglan pushed her away. Don't touch me with your filthy hands. Xing Minghui froze on the spot. Meanwhile, Xing Minglan covered her wound and took 2 steps back. I wish you two the best of luck. I wish that you two will live a long life together and die a horrible death. With that, Xing Minglan glanced at Grandpa Xing as if she was deeply hurt. Then, she turned and left Grandpa Xing's study. Minglan. Grandpa Xing wanted to stop his daughter. But why would he stop Xing Minglan? Her fiancé was stolen and her reputation was tarnished. As a grandfather, he could not stand beside Minglan because the engagement ceremony would be held tomorrow. Looking at the 2 culprits behind this incident, Grandpa Xing trembled in anger. As you wish. Get out of my sight now. Grandpa, thank you for helping me. I know you love me the most. Grandpa Xing had no choice. The two of them had already confessed their physical relationship. How could he stop them? Did he have to put Xing Minglan in as well? However, no matter what, this matter had caused a great deal of harm to fourth sister. This was the first time he had felt such a deep sense of guilt towards his granddaughter. And that was exactly what Xing Minglan wanted. Late at night, Xing Minglan walked out of Grandpa Xing's room. Jing Yun was shocked when he saw her hand covered in blood. He quickly went up to her. What happened? It's nothing. I cut myself. Let's go to Jingting first. No matter what, we have to stop the bleeding first. With that, Jing Yun dragged Xing Minglan to his old room. He put her on the couch and went to get the first aid kit. Why did you hurt yourself? Jing Yun squatted in front of Xing Minglan and cleaned her wound. Luckily, it's not too deep. I just wanted to scare Grandpa. I know what I'm doing. Xing Minglan explained. Jing Yun, you don't have to argue with Grandpa tomorrow. He has promised me that he will not interfere with my marriage or control my life. Don't say anything. I'll bandage it for you. To Jing Yun, the most important thing was her body. Everything else, no matter how excited she was, should not come at the cost of her body. Don't do it again. In that situation just now, I had no other choice. This was the only way for Grandpa to see my pain and determination. Jing Yun quickly bandaged her wound before pulling her up. Let's go to Jingting. Wait. Xing Minglan suddenly remembered something and grabbed his hand instead. Do you remember? I told you that night that I told you and I would get together if I could get away from Grandpa. Jing Yun froze at her words and stared blankly at her. I thought you were drunk. I thought you were drunk. I'm not. I'm sober. Xing Minglan said seriously. Jing Yun's expression was very unnatural. He still wanted to carefully protect his feelings for Xing Minglan, but it was precisely because of his hesitation that Xing Minglan suddenly stood on her tiptoes and kissed him on the cheek. This time, Jing Yun was completely dumbfounded. It's fine. Let's go to Jingting first. I will wait for your answer. With that, Xing Minglan walked in front of Jing Yun. Jing Yun's reaction was slow. It was only after a long while that his face turned as red as a cooked lobster. The atmosphere was a little awkward. The two did not speak on the way to Jingting. Meanwhile, Xing Minghui had successfully snatched the Englishman from Xing Minglan's hands. Grandpa Xing had decided that she would replace Xing Minglan as the bride-to-be tomorrow. To prevent the guests from being embarrassed, Grandpa Xing had come up with a trick. He would say that the bride's name was wrong. It was not Xing Minglan but Xing Minghui. That way, the guests could only accept it. But no one could have imagined that the Xing family would change their bride-to-be at the last minute the night before the engagement ceremony. Mama Xing could not help sighing when she heard about the drama before going to bed. Seventh sister is really bold. She even dared to snatch her brother-in-law. And she did such a shameless thing. What's worse is that we have to explain and smile at her tomorrow. I heard that fourth sister cut her wrists on the spot. I really don't know how disappointed and desperate she is. Papa Xing waved his wife off to let her rest after listening to her nagging. Let the two brothers fight. It has nothing to do with us. The brothers that Papa Xing was referring to were fourth sister and seventh sister's father. If that's the case, fourth sister would definitely not go to the engagement ceremony tomorrow. How sad. Perhaps everyone in the Xing family thought so, especially Xing Minghui. When she saw how devastated Xing Minglan was last night, she was filled with the exhilaration of victory. Will was hers now, and with that, her background would have a considerable boost, and she would have more confidence in the Xing family in the future. So, after the thrilling experience in the study, she danced around in her room. Tomorrow's bride-to-be would be Xing Minghui. If that was the case, Xing Minglan would not appear tomorrow, would she? Although Grandpa Xing had an excuse to the public, who could not see the crux of it. If Xing Minglan showed up tomorrow, she would definitely become the target of sympathy. Because she was abandoned by the groom the day before the engagement ceremony. But who would care about Xing Minglan tomorrow? Now, it was time for Xing Minghui to get lucky. When Jing Yun brought Xing Minglan to Jing Ting, Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi were already resting. Xing Xiao frowned when he saw Xing Minglan, who was injured. What happened? Xing Minglan sat on the sofa and told them everything about Xing Minglan stealing her man. Maybe what happened that night gave her the idea to beat me at my own game. That's why there was such a good show tonight. Xing Minglan probably doesn't know how much help she has given me. At this moment, seventh sister must be very pleased with herself because she stole your man from your hands and successfully humiliated you. She didn't have to confront Grandpa Xing directly and even won his guilt. Xing Minglan doesn't know that you are the biggest winner. Xing Xiao took out a glass of red wine from the wine cabinet and poured it for Xing Minglan. Congratulations, fourth sister. I didn't expect things to turn out this way. I had already prepared for the worst. Xing Minglan breathed a sigh of relief. Xing Xiao smiled too. We achieved our goal without sacrificing a single person. We can continue to bide our time. Tomorrow, let's focus on watching Xing Minglan's show. Chapter 293. After finishing the wine, Xing Xiao looked at Jing Yun's face and ears, which were all red. What did this guy do to his fourth sister? Since it's seventh sister's turn tomorrow, you should rest in Jing Ting tonight. She, her and I will continue to sleep. You two do as you please. With that, Xing Xiao winked at Mu Qiqi. Understanding his meaning, Mu Qiqi nodded. Me too. I'm suddenly very sleepy. I'll leave this place to you. With that, the couple got up from the sofa and went upstairs one after another. They clearly wanted to give Xing Minglan and Jing Yun some alone time. Knowing their intentions, Xing Minglan blushed and glanced at Jing Yun. If that's the case, you should stay with me. Miss Minglan. Xing Minglan grabbed Jing Yun's arm and made him sit on the sofa. Then, she leaned her head against him. If you really don't like me, you can push me away, Jing Yun. Xing Minglan smiled in satisfaction when she saw that Jing Yun did not move. She felt relieved. Jing Yun, do you think I'm old? Of course not. Jing Yun quickly replied. I don't have any power or background. I can't protect you, and I don't want to bring trouble to you. Grandpa has promised not to care about me. At least, you can slowly think about how to protect me in the next 1 or 2 years. Xing Minglan's voice was very soft, but she mustered a lot of courage. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but I want to be like Xing Xiao and be loyal to my heart. That way, no matter what happens in the future, at least I would work hard and have no regrets. Isn't the scariest thing in life to be afraid of failure before it even starts? Even if he knew that, Jing Yun was still afraid. Because he knew that some things would be beyond redemption once they started. Xing Minglan sighed when she saw that Jing Yun did not move. You're really frighteningly rational. Jing Yun let Xing Minglan lean on him, but that was all. He was completely holding back his emotions. After all, he had not thought about whether he should start this path of no return. Upstairs, Mu Qiqi peeked at the scene downstairs and couldn't help feeling disappointed. Fourth sister is taking the initiative. What's Jing Yun doing? Afraid that the people downstairs would see them, Xing Xiao quickly dragged Mu Qiqi into the room. Why are you looking at other people? Don't tell me I haven't fed you enough. Xiao Xiao, why do you think Jing Yun is so stubborn? Muchichi did not realize that her pajamas had already been taken off halfway. When she came to her senses, she realized that her earlobe had been bitten by the man. Since fourth sister has already thought it through, Jingyun will accept his fate sooner or later. Why do you have to worry about him? That's true. Muchichi nodded, only to find that the man's lips were already moving downwards. Don't bite there. Both upstairs and downstairs were filled with warmth. Although Jingyun did not respond for the entire night, he did not resist, did he? When the sky turned bright, fifth aunt came over and saw the mess in the living room. She knew that she had to prepare breakfast for 4 people today. Because Jingyun was afraid that fifth aunt would see him, he carried the sleeping Xing Minglan to the guest room. Soon, Xing Xiao and Muchichi got up, and Jingyun helped fifth aunt to prepare breakfast. Fourth sister, are you not going to the engagement ceremony today? Muchichi asked Jingyun when she saw that Xing Minglan had not gotten up. Why not? Of course I'm going. Xing Xiao smiled. How can I miss such a good show? I'll call her. Jingyun put down the cutlery and said quickly. At the same time, in the Xing family, Xing Minglan's belongings had been sent to Xing Minghui's room. Both of them had similar figures, so there was no problem with the dress. Even the ceremony was the same. The only thing that made people uncomfortable was the name on the invitation. Some people in the Xing family only got the news on the second day. The bride had been changed just like that. Seventh sister's parents could not control their daughter at all. Because Grandpa Xing had been taking care of her, they found it ridiculous that something like this happened. But they could not do anything about it. Xiao Qin, you are still in charge of the engagement ceremony today. Don't make any trouble. Grandpa Xing had woken up early in the morning and was getting dressed up. Mama Xing was not willing to take over this responsibility. Seventh sister had gotten what she wanted, but what about fourth sister? I know you feel sorry for fourth sister. But since it has happened, we can only think of a way to make up for it. Fourth sister will not be at the engagement ceremony today, will she? Mama Xing was worried about Xing Minglan's mood. Who could accept her fiancé being snatched away by her sister? She should be with your baby son. Instead of worrying about fourth sister, you should worry about eighth sister. Will he make trouble at the engagement ceremony? Xing Xiao make trouble? It was impossible. To ensure that nothing bad would happen at the ceremony, Mama Xing called Xing Xiao in advance. No matter what he was going to do, as a mother, she had to be mentally prepared. But when Xing Xiao heard Mama Xing's worry, he laughed out loud. Mom, you're thinking too much. I won't do anything. After all, the guests here are not blind. It's enough for seventh sister to worry about. Why should I do anything unnecessary? Is fourth sister in a good mood? It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, Xing Xiao answered ambiguously. Then you should send someone to take good care of her today, so that she won't be sad. Xing Xiao raised his eyebrows. Did his mother think that Xing Minglan would not attend the ceremony? Moreover, Xing Minglan did not need anyone to take care of her. After getting rid of Grandpa Xing's control, she had a new life. She was in a good mood. Sad. Forget about it. But Xing Xiao did not tell Mama Xing about this. He was waiting for Xing Minglan to show up and surprise everyone. Thinking of this, Xing Xiao's smile brightened. Because there would be a good show today. Because of this, he had to remind Muchichi. Hurry up and pack up. We are going to leave now. Your grandpa will attend the ceremony today. Don't you miss him? Of course I miss him. Muchichi had already changed into a silver A-line dress from Chanel's haute couture collection. There was a black satin ribbon tied into a bow around her waist. Mu Chi-Chi looked especially ethereal when she wore it. Xing Xiao draped a warm coat over her, and she looked even more delicate and lovely. Where are fourth sister and the others? They will leave a little later. Xing Xiao smiled playfully. He let the little one hold his arm and they walked out of Jingting together. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.